Welcome to Around the Mage Table. This is episode 78 of the podcast for the rest of us. We are starting 5 seconds late today because Scrap interrupted our countdown. And I just want to say hi to everyone. So we'll start with you, Scrap. How you doing today?
Well, you counted down like 4 times in a row, and I wanted to know why.
I literally explained I accidentally hit the button twice to stop recording. And I don't know what part of that made you think that we were not going to keep the timestamps
I
correct.
tuned that out. I just heard you count down like 4 times.
The
I was
only
like, what
thing
is
that was said.
doing?
How do you tune it out?
It's like our pool timers, man.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
seriously. Don't get me started about that.
I'm doing great, Frank.
Okay, good. Lithian, how you doing?
Oh, good. I played too much World of Warcraft, but whatever.
You definitely did.
We got a lot to talk about with World of Warcraft. Well, we got a big, meaty topic to talk about, and we'll see how far that takes us this week. Ioski, how you doing?
Also been hitting the WoW pretty hard, so excited to talk about it, but maybe might take tomorrow off. I don't know. We'll see.
What, you're taking Community Key Day off?
That's right. I guess not. I guess I'm not taking tomorrow off.
No,
Yeah.
can't take tomorrow off.
Yep. All right. Well, I started my day or evening with my wife fainting. So if I just run away from the camera at any moment's notice, it's because she's saying she needs to be taken to the hospital. I hope everyone will understand. I hope she's doing well, but she says she's fine. We'll see.
If you're watching this episode right now, that didn't happen.
Yes. We have the season has started. Okay, and there isn't a lot of news. I have a couple things in case we find the time, which I'm saying we will, but you guys always argue every time I say that. I jinx it. But we do have a lot of data that suggests there's some strange things happening in season 1 of Midnight, and I guess we could start talking with. Okay, let's actually look at it from a perspective of class tuning and what's gone on going into season 1. Okay, so we're gonna jump straight in. We had class tuning the day of the season launching. This is what it, I love Wowhead and their little estimation numbers. Arms Warrior getting a little buff, so all the power to Shani there. BM Hunters and their easy rotation getting buffs. Disc Priests, I guess this is, just like DPS buff, therefore is a healing, nerf, and therefore a healing nerf. Devastation Evokers got a nerf, which they theoretically needed, although there's like this little note here that talks about how this isn't good for them. Guardian Druids, definitely taken out back, although Pleb, who is our Guardian Druid in our guild, is still bragging about his DPS on his meter, so I'm sure it was not enough to necessarily destroy the spec. However, we will take a look at some of the numbers that shows what's happening at the higher levels of keys right now. Devourer Scrap, you got a little buff, are you feeling it?
No, because I'm bad at it.
Yeah,
So
No, because I'm bad.
So I haven't noticed an uptick.
Frost DK's got a little buff. We'll talk about that in a second. And then Rogues got buffs, which apparently wasn't enough. Apparently they have just not been brought at all in. I don't want to say at all. I'm not sure of it.
Hold on.
I
It's
feel
not.
like Rogues haven't been hot in expansions.
It's not that they haven't been brought. It's that nobody plays them.
Yeah, everybody dropped out.
Well, no, but in the race to world first, it doesn't matter what nobody does or doesn't play.
Yeah.
Now, Max made an argument. Okay, so first off, have you guys been watching the race to world first at all?
No, I don't watch that junk.
Sorry.
I just watch the clips if Max has like a clips or something. I would be following it a bit more closely, but when we talk about it more, I'm guessing at some point I'll bring up kind of why I haven't really been paying too much attention to this one.
Yeah. Well, you and everyone else. Okay. So again, we'll talk about the stats real quick. So this is what it's looked like in raid. I pulled heroic this week. Okay. There are obviously some people in mythic, but I feel like the GP, the general population, are playing in this space. Okay. Frost Death Knight's still underperforming, so I'm suspecting that they might get some more tuning. I don't know. We have the upcoming tuning here. I haven't looked at it, but they still need some help. Our shaman friends not performing so well. Arcane Mage. Now, when we looked at this early in the week, it was like, look how wide the spectrum is.
It's still pretty wide, but all of them are very wide at this point in the season.
Well, and again, this is heroic, so pugs can cause all sorts of things. A lot of more people doing that. Here, actually, we'll switch over to Mythic just to take a look at it and see if it's still pretty random.
Look at who's at top.
Oh, look at that.
Frost. Devour, yeah. Which again, this is pretty wide, so it's a new spec. I guess it's not to be surprised.
Yeah, I'm there at the bottom.
Scraps at the bottom.
Look what's right behind it, though. It is the season of Scrap.
Oh, Survival Hunter. Whoa, that's for raid?
That is for raid. Now each boss is different, right? Like you'll see an entirely different thing for like let's just show Illyria. Nope.
Well, most of them are very cleave Yeah, they're very cleave heavy, so it makes sense. Survival Hunter normally does better AoE than single target. Not always, but
Well,
I'll
that's
look at the best
surprising.
one on that one.
Hold
Balance druid
Balance
on. How
ready.
far? How many logs do they even
TH.
have? Um, not
Not
that
that
many.
many.
Like 6.
like 7
Yeah.
guilds. Yeah. So again, Mythic isn't the best place to look, but whatever. So this is what the average everyday person's seeing. We quickly check this against Meta, which is Lithian's algorithm or AI pulling together what we can expect. I don't think it's safe to say Augmentation is necessarily singing in the S tier. Arcane Mage is
What?
being beat up by Frost Mage right now.
Is this for
This
M
is for
plus
M
though,
plus.
or is
Yeah,
this
yeah. We'll get an M plus in a
Yeah.
second, but again, you
Dude,
know,
Aug
when
is
Well, you,
S
Kellen, you
tier,
can't
bro.
measure M plus against raid.
no, well, this is
like,
the problem, and
representation.
Lithian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like you pulled these things, but they didn't necessarily always say they were for M plus, right? Like,
The
here's
majority, the
here's your
majority of
ones we
them
separated.
were Mythic plus.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
if it's a raid one, it'll call it out.
Okay.
Because
Well,
I
anyways,
asked to have it separated.
it's not. I don't think it's like I don't think it's a huge scatter shot. I mean, it looks like 80K to 95K is like the
Yeah.
highest of the high top performers. But it is, I guess, interesting to see the range of where people can perform. Like, for example, wow, Feral Druid's beating up Balance. But yeah, if you looked at our logs, Zesty, of course, is playing in this space.
Zesty's that guy. That's him. He's that dot.
So we look then at the upcoming tuning for this Tuesday. Frost is getting another 4% buff. Okay, good for them. Feral's getting a buff again. They're performing better than Balance right now, so I guess maybe this is for.
But
M
this
plus
might also
reasons.
be M plus tuning, yeah.
Well, the argument that people always make, and Blizzard's never, I think, commented on this, other than maybe saying that like a years ago, like 10 years ago during Legion or BFA, they said like, oh, we don't necessarily balance for M plus that much just because like it's not our priority. But I think
Definitely felt that.
nowadays it's different. Well, we'll see. BM survival getting a
Hell
buff.
yeah.
What? Okay. Arcane's getting a little buff
Well,
for
I think about Beastmastery and survival. Think about where marksmanship is right now. Marksmanship is just like running away with it.
in
So
Mythic Plus maybe, but not
yeah.
in Raid as we saw.
Mhm.
Which again, if they were to tune towards anything as based on what they said, it'd be Raid.
Mhm.
Arcane's getting a little single target buff for the Sun Fury. The Arcane class writer tweeted that this was complete nonsense. I don't know. I'm not allowed to look, so I'm not looking. But
Yeah.
Yep.
Shadow once again is getting rewritten. Psychic Link has gone on its. There's someone Zorthus tweets it, but I don't know if he's the one that's tracking it. But it has like a graph to show all the buffs and nerfs that have happened to Psychic Link, and literally it's like yo-yoed. And of course, some more arms buffs, which seems to be focusing on the execute damage, making them the execute class, which makes sense for their theme. But I'm a little surprised that this is somewhat light. Now, the argument might be because Race to World First, they don't want to throw things out of whack. Any thoughts from you guys? Or
Well, I also think it's hard to get the actual data because there's such disparity in what people have for set pieces and gear. Like maybe this class will do all right if more people have their set piece or they have the trinket that synergizes well with their class. So I think it's definitely hasty to roll out big buffs based on what we're seeing the first week. I wouldn't expect to see like M plus focus tuning for like a month, right? Like, don't they normally wait a good bit into the season?
their rules have been that, and remember they put the blue post saying that what they were going to do, which is they said they were going to do the tuning pass last week. They said they're going to do the tuning pass this week, and I believe they said they're going to do one more on April whatever 4th or it is.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks or so. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, no,
1
it's a
week.
week from now. It's a week from now. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's when I would
then
expect some more.
normally they do one every 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Up until they're like, okay, well, 12.0.5 is coming out, and that's like where they'll do the cutoff and say everything goes into that. I'm not really worried about it. I don't think there's anything that stands out as being a problem. Although if you look on Twitter, you'd see people freaking out saying, for example, Brewmaster is completely broken for M+. Again, we'll get to M+ later. But I'm surprised. It's not even so much that I'm surprised how light it is. I guess it kind of makes sense because again, Race to World First. But I'm also surprised that, like, for example, Shadow's all over the place. They are buffing Arcane, although it seems Arcane was kind of used in some of the Race to World First specs. Again, this just how it's performing Mythic in general. So it's just strange. I don't understand what's going on here. Maybe someone in their comments can explain, like, oh, this is the logic they're applying for why Feral's getting a buff despite the fact that Balance is performing lower than
Hey,
it.
don't put anything in the comments about Arcane. Frank's not allowed to look.
Well, don't tell me why. You can tell me that, oh yeah,
That
Arcane just sucks and whatever, but like,
he's
don't give me
blind
the
building it.
details.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a vibe build update here in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Oh,
let's jump into the Race to World first. So I'm gonna give you a quick summary, and I'll do that by starting with some background. Scrap? What do you think the average amount of days a Race to World first lasts?
That was like a week and a half. Am I
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
off base there?
No, like 10.
Okay.
Maybe it goes into the second like reset.
I'll say
like, so 10 to
I
15?
never watched the Race to World first. It's kind of like sport to me, and I'm not that into sports.
Mhm.
But I like hearing you guys talk about it, so I do absorb it like anecdotally. So I may not answer your questions accurately.
Yeah.
on
No,
this,
no,
right?
I was just
Yeah.
trying to get like a pulse, right?
Yeah, I would say
so
a week and a half. That's my
yeah,
pulse.
yeah. So 10 to 15 days, I think, is a fair range of where you can expect it. More towards the reset. Like usually the second reset's where it's like, okay, this is getting a little dicey. We had the raid launch on Tuesday, and it's not usually run by Liquid or Echo on the first day. Usually they're doing more splits to kind of boost their eye level, which you can see their eye level
Because they have
average,
time.
right? Well, it's because they know that, here we go. So you see like these two random guilds, and actually this is Tettle's guild right here, nerfed. I remember seeing that. They'll grab like some world first just to get some, clout or whatever.
Mhm.
But the real guilds aren't. I shouldn't say real guilds. These obviously are real guilds, but like the big heavy hitters are.
The marathon.
They're not worried about it because they know there'll be a wall that stops everyone else where they can do
Mhm.
their thing and catch up. But I guess splits went really well. They jumped in, I think, the second day, and cleared up to Paladins, if I remember correctly, on day one.
Oh,
Right?
you're talking about Mythic? Let's not forget the fact that they had they killed Chimeras 5 times before
Yep.
they did the rest of that.
So they got the world
Right
first,
here.
second, third, fourth, and fifth kill of Chimeras.
Okay.
Nice.
On the first day?
On the
Yeah.
I think it was the second day, like the
It
first
was like the second day,
like
yeah.
the first
Okay.
official day of like them racing. They went there first. Because if I remember correctly, they just said like mechanically it was about how you played, not about the numbers, right?
Hmm.
And so yeah, they did mythic splits like immediately, their very first boss pull. And again, correct me in the comments if I'm this is all just based off of like what I picked up. And then they jumped into raid and like one shot this. I think they one shot this, and yeah, so they two shot the Saladar. They 5 shot the double dragons, which is supposed to be a very mechanically heavy boss. And then they hit their first wall. So they hit the council boss. 52 pulls for them to get it down. I was just listening to something Max said. He said this is actually like a really good council boss. He thought they did a really good job with this boss. So based on that information, Scrap, how many pulls do you think it took for them to get Illyria down?
It normally takes them like 300 or 400 for the last boss, but I don't know how much.
This isn't the last boss. This is technically,
Yeah.
by Blizzard's standard, I think they said this was the
I-
second to last boss.
Okay.
Which is
I'm
like
gonna
in
say,
the ballpark of 100 to 150.
I'm expecting a surprising number. I'm gonna say 10.
Took him 25, or sorry, 35.
25. Okay.
35.
Yeah, that's still surprising.
In fact, it was, I think, Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. We just finished raid. We did a key or two, right? I think it was
Mhm.
like 2 a.m. when we finished up our runs. And I just happened to throw on the stream, and it just so happened to be the kill, right? I was just like, wait, what the fuck is going on? This created a problem because, one, obviously Race to World First is, as far as Team Liquid is concerned, not the players, but the company, is really critical for them to have a lot of viewership. And if you have nothing happening from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, this
yeah,
is
they're
a huge
expecting
problem.
15 days of
Right?
of income.
Not to mention they've got to, I guess, pay to house everyone, despite the fact that nothing's happening and bringing them revenue. So that's going to be annoying. But I mean, it's not like a huge sink of costs, I think. But yeah, Echo catches up. They do it in 21 pulls. Method, who's playing for third, did it in 53, which is not a good look because they kind of had the strat early. They should have been able to do it in under 35 theoretically. Whatever. They're the third place team. So now everyone's freaking out, right? Everyone's like, oh shit, this is going to be a super easy tier. It's going to fall over. Liquid's going to get it like
Well,
the
they also
second
have the
reset
rest
happens,
of the week to do nothing but like Mythic Plus and get all the perfect gear and
which is
stuff. So they
exactly
could
what
just
they did.
hit the ground running really hard and kill it in one day.
And you would think that they would not quote unquote stop splits and stop Mythic Plus until
Mhm.
like why stop? Like continue to just gear all their 20 plus characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, according to Dratnos and Tettles, like Sunday night tonight, they're like, yeah, we don't need to do this anymore. Like we're good. We got everything ready and like kind of packed up and ready to go for Tuesday morning. I don't
Yeah, they
know
already have their
how.
bags packed.
Yeah,
They're
right.
like, yeah, we'll be done on Monday or Tuesday.
I don't know how that all fans out. Of course, like again, I don't know the inner details, but that's just my impression of it. Um, and a lot of people are freaking out. I guess it's just to say it simple. People are thinking this is going to be a stupid easy tier. Max has said that he believes Allura or Midnight Falls, whatever you want to call it, is going to be an insanely hard boss, and he thinks that everyone should just get ready for that because ultimately that's what will really matter, anyways. But I wanted to, Io, you said you wanted to give some insight or thoughts into this. So, what are your thoughts so far?
On the race in general, or
Yeah,
like
like
what?
why you're not watching it. You said you were going to tell us. Like,
Oh yeah, no. So like I'm already kind of not a big race to world first person just because I kind of feel it's exciting, especially when you get to the end, and especially if it's like Echo and Liquid and they're close like last year and they're fighting for poles. It's interesting to follow. But I don't necessarily like how it's just two bigger guilds with like organizational infrastructure that are just able to, hey, we're gonna just make a bunch of characters, gear specific ones up with the best gear to make our raid team instead, because and WoW, you get that sense of community where it's like it's your character and you're playing with your friends and you're
yep,
doing stuff. They obviously play it a bit differently, so I think that kind of it's fine because it's a completely different level and it's a completely different type of game that they're playing. But also it's just like, to me, who's someone who enjoys that aspect of it, it just feels kind of lame when it's like, you're not going to have an up and coming guild that has a chance to really kind of break in because either they're gonna they're just gonna have the resources to out prep them and outplay them, and then in the off season they're just gonna recruit every other guild's best player. So it's like
Yeah.
that wants to kind of move up into that race to world space. So that's kind of why I'm always kind of iffy on it. But it does get exciting near the end. I do like the people who are in it. This one in particular is very interesting to me because, and we'll talk about it probably too when we talk about Mythic Plus tuning, but a lot of people are saying like this raid is going to be too easy or this season's going to be too easy. And I think that we're looking at a situation that's kind of unprecedented where, Liquid goes in and they kill the boss that has the best in slot trinket for like 5 times before they go in with everybody. Next week when Midnight Falls comes around, they're going to go in with, I think Max said, to 50 to 100 mythic kills worth of gear. I know I know Blizzard can turn the knobs as far as they want, but at some point there's going to be some kind of weird artificial thing where it's, if the best guild in the world goes in with this much eye level, it shouldn't take them a lot of
They just
pulls.
smashed it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They should just smash it. And it's not an exciting race or whatever, but it's just kind of the reality of this tier because of how the lockouts work. And I don't think Blizzard should tune it so far to where it takes them a while to get it back down to where a reasonably like more conservatively paced guild has to pull it a lot more just to catch up, kind of deal.
yeah.
But I have a question.
Hold on.
Like, oh,
Io,
sorry, go ahead.
Io, feed that cat, man.
Yeah, the cat. I
He,
can hear
he
the
is fed.
cat.
He's putting me out at the door. I'm gonna open it. He's gonna go
Okay,
out and
okay.
he's just gonna come right back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go. Well, I had to dip down because I had to confiscate stuff from my dogs here, so I hope he wasn't bothered.
You guys and
Or
your
some animal
animals, man.
problems here.
Jeez.
But
All right, we back.
I wanted to hold on.
What is wrong
I
with
do
y'all?
want to. Okay, go on, Scrap. If you're back.
Sorry, I wanted to ask: is it like where they had like 1 pull on the first one, they got 2 pulls on the second one, 25 pulls on like the fifth one, 50 pulls on the last one? Are those comparable to typical Mythic raid race to world first numbers? Are they
Yeah.
normally smashing
So-
through the first bosses that quickly?
It depends. The first, like, and people have been bringing this up, especially recently. Like the first 6 bosses tend to vary. I think if you compare it to the last 2 tiers in particular, Undermine had a really ridiculous 4/5
At
boss
Mugsy.
with with well Muggsy too, but
Oh.
Styx and
Yeah.
Sprocket were both really tough bosses on Mythic, and also last year I think Araz was a wall for a lot of guilds for a while, and then obviously Saladar, and then Demencius. But so it can depend. The last 2 tiers, this hasn't happened, but it has happened in the past.
Yeah, so there's usually a mid-tier wall, right? So the best example of this is Halandris from Sepulchre's.
Yeah, I remember Halandris.
Right? That was like I think a 300 pull mid wall, and that was like unheard of. But there's usually a mid wall for these guilds that's like 100 to 150 pulls. Okay.
Okay.
We didn't even get triple digits on any of these. The worst was the Vanguard. And again, this is probably expected for a boss in the mid tier, right? Like they always plow through the first 3, maybe 4. And then it's like, this is where things kind of start ramping up. And I don't think Belarus or Beleren is going to be a 100 pull boss. I just don't. Like it's supposed to be.
Well,
kind
it's
of like,
for them. It's definitely won't be because they're like you said, they're kitted. They're almost at max item level, right?
we don't know. We just don't know.
They're at 265 right now average. So that's
this is when they had
max
to kill.
heroes.
This is when they hit the
Oh,
kill.
okay.
Right, like you can see
yes, they were-
Method.
So they're
Method
even
went ahead
higher.
and just,
then.
yeah, they're probably higher. They're probably more closer to what Method is right now. And again, I don't think.
And
they're
it's
gonna tell
also
us.
really good gear too. They probably have the best Mythic Plus trinkets if they
Yep.
don't have the raid trinkets, and
Yep.
yeah, like
Yeah,
they can easily
they'll
get it.
put they'll put keys up in Group Finder saying Liquid wants
I saw
your
one.
10 key, wants your
Yeah.
10 key, and must be able to trade shoulders or
Yeah,
something like
pass
that.
gloves. I saw one
yeah.
that was like pass gloves, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I looked at my gloves. I was like, oh.
Oh.
Couldn't pass.
The only
Yeah.
the only thing I care about in raid is how many pulls it's gonna take us to finish it. That's all I care about.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
So-
let's
sorry,
take
go on,
let's take a
Frank.
quick look at our leaderboard. So Liquid and Echo were in the top 100 of heroic,
Guess
getting it
us
done.
and Pi.
Hey, look, we're in the top 10,000 right now. So good for us. No, I was gonna say, like, we came in and kind of started clobbering quickly. We can probably get, if we had more time, because we only raid 2 nights a week, we probably could have gotten Chimeras down, right?
Yeah.
Because that was just a DPS check,
I
like
feel
mechanically.
we have a really dedicated crew this time. Like, of course, we like when we looked at it, we half of the DPS were great parsing.
What do you mean by
but-
dedicated?
I'm gonna pull that up right now just to show
Yeah,
that
yeah.
off.
Like as far as the parses go, but I feel like I don't know. It just seems that everybody feels really driven this season. Like
Who are you talking about?
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know.
Scrap. So
That's just
like
the
this
vibe
is
I
the
have.
thing.
People are take us very seriously.
So
Look at mine. That's so low.
Oh.
now again, some people died.
Well,
so
I
this
died
is
on that
like, yeah,
one.
but
No
like
way
No,
I
you
did
didn't.
half
You
as
didn't.
much as
That's
Killera.
your normal parse, right above the
No,
tanks.
no.
Which boss was this?
this was Saladar, I think. No, Veracius.
Oh.
Veracius.
Practice.
So like we're
Wow.
getting through the raid with I think we counted at 9 people either dying or parsing at
Gray.
a wonderfully gray rate.
Where's the dedication, man?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Talk about the people
our
on the
top
top.
end.
Yeah, the
our
top
top
end.
end.
You're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it.
did a good
Our
job.
Absolute came in. So Absolute's I think he's Polish, but he lives in Australia right now. He
No.
left his guild.
we don't know. It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery. Anyways, he's a real one. He came in and said, "Hey, I want to be a part of MDL and I want to raid with y'all." And look, he came in and smashed it. Zesty, of
yeah,
course,
he's definitely
always
above
smashing.
our pay grade.
Scrap the second place devourer, but only to our first place devourer,
He's
Alundra.
killing it.
Tots
Is that
always
Stoop?
crushing it.
Oh, I thought that, I can't read it from here. I thought that was Stoop. I was like, holy shit.
not Stoop.
But
But yeah,
shout
like,
out to casual with the green.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Go casual.
Casual green. Go off, King.
No, and look, you know what? Valrin, she's playing Shadow Priest, which right now might be arguably
Oh yeah,
undertuned, and
she's
spot on.
above our pay grade also.
She used to be a
know,
Mythic
so-
Raider.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
point
did
is
Io.
this. Back
So
to-
did Io. I mean,
Io.
I don't think it means anything.
So,
So-
we've only rated 4 or 5 hours on this, and again, we did normal again just to kind of make sure people got tier, and we would be knocking on the Vanguard fight here in a minute if we had more time. So, like Lithian, to your point, I'm wondering if we're gonna actually really have a hard time with this raid. Of course, the last boss might be a shit show. But I say all this, and I wanted to bring this up though. I haven't seen it myself. I can't really tell you what exactly is going on, but it is, I guess, effective that like Liquid built their own weak auras. Echo's still using weak auras to like do all the things. Max said we're able to pretty much do everything we used to be able to do, with the exception of being able to like specifically mark people to where, like individuals to where to go. Again, that's my understanding of it. I'm not saying that's exactly what he said. So like, you know, that Dratnos had a really good tweet where he said, "Congratulations to add-ons for winning the war on add-ons."
And
Yeah.
somebody had a reply on that tweet that got a lot of likes that said the real add-ons were the friends we made along the way.
Wow.
Wow.
So clever.
That's
It
impressive.
was me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I figured it was you, Io.
All right, I'm
And
pulling
nobody
that
liked
up.
that
Hold on.
one.
Let's go.
Why is Frank so tickled by that?
It's a great bit. I love
because
it.
Frank doesn't know how
guys-
to use Twitter.
Dude, you
I
guys are
don't.
such Twitter guys.
I'll be the first
Yeah.
person to say
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So here, congratulations to the add-ons.
Let's
The
see.
real.
There I
Oh
am.
my god! Yep.
All right, there you go.
You're proud of those
Why don't you
116
like
likes.
it? Hit him with a
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
bro.
had him with a like.
The
Oh,
hell?
117 likes. I'm sorry.
Everyone else, go and
I
hit him
had
with
it-
that
Yeah.
like.
I had another funny one. Go on my thing real quick and
Oh,
go
here
to
we
my
go.
replies.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
let's
Now-
look at Io's funny tweet corner.
Yeah. This is
Oh,
Should I make a
gosh.
graphic for that?
Go to Okay,
Frank's not even
so go to
verified.
the go down. Keep
Well,
going.
he
Keep
replies
going,
a lot.
Keep
Keep
going.
going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep
Keep
going.
going.
Keep going.
Okay, this
Man.
one. Okay, wait. Yeah, there we go. Go, this one. Liquid's like 5 races in a row these last 2. Can't believe this is my life, and it's just a horse saying, "Man," and then I go down. I'm like, right back at you, big dog.
Did you make that?
Such an
Yeah.
idiot. You're
Okay,
such
that's
an
pretty
idiot.
funny. That's some classic like Tumblr humor, and I can get behind
Thank
that.
you. All right.
They were doing
Back to
it
your
where,
regularly
again, they
scheduled
had a good
programming.
bit where they were like doing the race, the
Oh,
world
look at
first
that.
chimeras, and then they like, kept copying the world first chimeras.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, I love
I think
that.
Scarwin
That was great.
posted that comic
Oh,
where.
And then
Yeah, there it is.
Ray
There it
Ray,
is. in
yeah.
that one. That's so funny.
Yeah, they were doing like some alligator bit. Anyways, okay. World first.
I'm glad I don't hang out on Twitter, man.
It is.
You know,
man.
this is as much Twitter as I want. This is perfect. I get a little dip my toes in a
Okay.
little bit.
Let's focus. Okay, so
Yeah, let's focus.
Okay.
up.
are
We're
you
gonna make
worried the
2
raid is
hours.
too easy?
Well,
On heroic or
too
mythic?
easy for them or too easy for us?
Both. We'll
For
start
everyone.
with them. We'll start with them.
'Cause-
Is it a problem that it's too easy for them?
I don't care about them.
But is it
Well, I
a problem for the game? Like, don't worry about what you worry. Like, are
Okay,
you worried
okay,
that WoW
so-
is damaged by this?
So here's my typically in my mind, the first season of an expansion is supposed to be really hard. Like I always feel like the first season is always a hard progression, and then season 2 is a little bit easier, season 3 is a little bit easier. In this expansion, they decided, hey, what if we just didn't make it hard? What if we just made it easy and
Well, that's
then
what-
make it harder as we go?
You're acting like this was intentional tuning, which I'm not so sure it
I
was.
I don't know that it was intentional. I don't know if it was because of the add-on thing. I don't know if it was because
Would you like to
of the
speculate?
simplification. I mean, if I had to speculate, I would say, hey, they wanted to really put the raid mechanics in the game in a way that you didn't need weak auras. So they made a few concessions to make it a little bit easier and more how do I say, more predictable as far as what the mechanics are for each one of the bosses.
I'm going to challenge that thought in a second. Just
On,
putting my
on top
objection
of
out there.
that, they also simplified the majority of the classes, if not all the classes. I haven't played them all, so I don't know. But you know, it's a lot simpler, and I feel like the way that I see some of the numbers flying across, I think that the tuning is a little bit off. But you know, it's probably a little too late to go back and fix all those things. So
Okay, hold on. So first and foremost, as far as the classes are simpler. Oh, I need to pull this back up for the viewers. The fact that there's such a widespread, web for each one of these, I feel like
But Frank,
while
but
it is
can't that
probably
be
well,
gear disparity also? Because people don't have entire sets. Like,
there's a lot that
let
contributes to
me
the
pull up the previous raids. Nope, that's whatever. We'll do heroic.
Are you going to season?
You go to
Are
week
you going to go
1?
to season
Yeah.
1?
Season 1, week 1.
Is that what you want to do? You want
Season
season 1?
1, season 1, week 1 comparison.
Week 1, because I want to see are they very widespread in season 1, week 1? Because people have they're hugely spread.
That's
It's the same.
Oh, actually, you know what I need to do? I was looking because this is score versus spec. versus like
I can't
actual
read
damage.
this at all.
Frank's moving. He's moving the goalposts. It's fine.
Whoa!
But
No! I'm just
He's
saying. I need
moving
to.
it.
This is a score, right? Versus
Yeah, but
like
isn't that
like how
that?
do you score negative DPS? You know, like
But that looks even wider.
I know. What I need to do is compare it because this is like a 0 to 1. Well, I don't even know how you get 115, but maybe you know what? Maybe it's because they're putting PIs and they invalidate those scores. I don't know, but whatever.
Maybe.
Let's go back to
y- y-
this.
y-
See, like the score starts at 60 here. So if anything, you're right. Like in the past, it was way worse. Oh, this is Mythic though. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So maybe the gap's closer because this one
But
starts at
I
20.
want to see what a week 3 one looks like typically. The gap. I mean, people are learning their
Well,
specs more, but they're
yeah,
also the set
they're
pieces
getting
for some
gear.
people are huge leaps up, and trinkets are huge leaps up. Oh, that's the same.
This is
that week 3.
This is the first 2 weeks.
Okay. Let me see week 5.
I don't know how to control it like that.
I don't know how to do it. Computer,
Analytics
show
on
me.
demand.
Hold on. Sorry, this is actually the first 2 weeks. No, this
Okay,
is
on
better.
demand.
This is better. Oh, hold on, Mythic. Hold on. Switch back to her.
I can't read this.
No,
I've
it's
just been
worse.
pretending I know
It's
how,
worse.
how to read this.
It's worse.
It's
It's
worse.
so bad.
Wait,
But
week 5, it's worse.
I think
This
I
is
think
the first 2 weeks of the 11.0 patch.
I feel like in this season, as people get gear, as people get their tier sets, they're really gonna dial it in, and it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be worse in a different way.
Put a pin in this, and I want to take a look at what it looks like on week 5 when everybody's gear is kind of
Put a pin
set.
in it.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, Lithian, is you were arguing that they made some concessions and like it's not as chaotic. Is that fair to summarize what you said?
I think the raid mechanics are more, they're
Simplistic?
more, what's that?
Simplistic?
Not simplistic. They're easier to read.
Yeah.
You know
I
what's
think that's
gonna
fair.
happen.
Predictable.
Here's the
It's
problem, though.
more.
That is true. I
What is
agree with you
this?
100%. This is Mana Forge Omega. The classes that suffered the most death, like percentage wise, okay?
Beastmaster
That-
Hunter. What?
So
Well,
like
that's 'cause
you'll
they got
see
no brains.
all this DPS, right? Like pretty much goes up to the tanks who died never, effectively, right? Which this is like, I don't think there's unpredictability a lot in Mana Forge. They were trying to do some of the better design, yada yada. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but anyway, it's not the point.
Wait, this can't be Mana Forge. There's 3 demon hunters.
This is including when they were released in pre-patch.
Oh.
Right. So
Okay.
here's the death statistics so far of this raid. And wouldn't you
Oh, man,
know,
it sucks, man.
tanks are dying like fucking crazy.
And
that is
funny.
by far the most unpredictable thing you can
I'm glad you're tuned into that because that's such an interesting statistic.
Well, I
What's
think
interesting is I don't think I've seen as many concentrate priests, and now it makes more sense. The data backs it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Concentrate has
It-
not been dying as much.
Look at
Is this
arcane
per
mages in Mythic.
capita?
Poor arcane mages in Mythic are getting fucking slaughtered.
Yeah, they're
Right?
getting
Well,
slaughtered.
35.29% of deaths.
Is this like one of those spiders
the
things?
the
You know,
the,
where it's-
the statistics around tanks. Prop Paladin is weird. They're messed up.
Oh
I
my
don't know what's
God,
wrong
yeah.
with them.
I don't
But
want to get started on them.
but I feel like it. If I'm going to be completely candid, I feel like it's the healer's fault all the way.
Ooh.
The healers are just letting tanks die because they're so used to the tanks just sustaining themselves. They just ignore them. Like sometimes when we're in our raid, I feel like I am struggling because I have to use everything I
Alright,
got to stay
Let's
alive.
do a comparison. Here we go.
Let's not talk about the when you guys didn't swap and Frank had that debuff that made his health like 20% of what it should be.
No, there definitely is some of that. Like we're not gonna take
Well,
that
yeah,
away from you, all right?
we're making mistakes for sure. I'm not going to deny that. At all.
What is it? Healing? Is there a healing taken?
Yeah, like
Oh, man,
there
look
was
at
a
Holy
couple of
Paladin.
times. There was a couple of times where I felt like I was just off on my own, gonna die. I'm just gonna die.
There have been some range issues. I'll give you that.
Yeah, this has been a
Well-
really weird raid for that. Like one thing I thought was really interesting was when Absolute called it out, and I realized when you get that dragon debuff, that fear, really, if you're like even a little bit out, you can't get dispelled because you're out of range of everyone. It's crazy
think you're
how
dead.
just that it seems like it doesn't seem like it's that far, but it is further than you think.
I'll say
So
Asgardon needs to do some more healing.
this
for
is,
sure.
I guess, the healing iris. Yeah, don't get okay. We're not getting into the nitty gritty of our. This is, I believe, the healing for. So I did 35% of my own healing, and then we'll call it 65% from everyone else. Again, I'm sorry to take everyone through our personal information here, but I'm
I
kind of
think it's
curious now.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm
I
curious
mean,
now.
it's interesting, but it
All right, so
it
this
probably
is a random mana. Actually, I should probably go to one that's earlier. Let me get all our logs.
What was I playing Death Knight back then?
In
Yeah.
Mana
'Cause
Forge?
But
that's
it's,
really gonna
that's why I'm
skew things.
comparing.
Oh,
But
you're
that's why I'm
thinking.
comparing myself.
I think you might have because we needed the grips for the last
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, so
Floodgate.
that definitely
Who's in that
skews.
floodgate?
Oh, this is normal. Hold on.
Floodgate.
But if I remember, you started the season as Blicky.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
I did.
Blicky.
That's true.
I
That's
did.
true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know what
right.
happened.
Dude, I remember what
All right.
happened.
This is a
I
pretty
was-
straightforward fight, right? And we look at my healing.
Oh, that's
It's
healing.
about the same. It's about the
Yeah,
same.
what the heck? What are you trying to prove? It's the same. Except
No,
the
I'm not making
shamans
this
are
argument.
healing
I'm
right
not making
now.
this argument.
No, what I'm saying is I'm saying the healers are letting me die, bro.
Or has
I
Or
mean,
been
maybe
I'm
you're
not
just used to it
actually-
because you used to be blood and
could
that's
be.
what you're used to.
I'm not actually dying because I can
No,
keep
you're
myself
not. No,
up.
you're better geared than I am too.
But yeah, no, I'm trying to take a lot of the brunt of the mechanics, but either way, I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird.
So
This is a weird statistic.
It's a weird statistic. I'm fascinated by it.
I like. Is this a problem? It makes sense to me that the tanks are supposed to be like the forefront of what's dying, right?
Well, it is a
Right.
problem if the tanks are dying the most because when the tank dies, the pull's done for a
Sure,
long
but,
time.
but people
so-
but people are not necessarily having a problem with the raid overall. And if
Yeah.
anything, the argument here is that the mechanics are a lot easier to understand. There aren't as many one-shotty mechanics, right?
I think it's probably just a lot of tanks are used to having either DBM or a weak or letting them know when to taunt, and now they
So
have to
true.
kind of figure it out on their own. And not that a lot of
Well-
people can't do it, right? You know, when you have stacks of a debuff, you know when to take
Yeah.
It
it,
looks
but
like
there's
a
You
also
lot
get it
of-
wrong
yeah.
once or twice, right?
yeah, there's
Yeah.
also, but you know, sometimes when you're tanking, you know, something maybe is a little hectic going on, you zone out for 1 second, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, wait, that judgment's happening, and then you just get killed, and it's like, fuck, it's like it
You know,
happens sometimes.
What's great about our raid is Frank and I talk a lot, but what's really great about it is when Frank and I are trying to communicate our taunt swaps and everything else, and there's chaos in voice the entire time. There's multiple people trying to tell people what to do, and
Ioski
it's
hits me with that fart noise.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's the lock-in noise, okay?
It is. It's good.
It's just I don't even hear it because I have the soundboard off, but it's just chaos sometimes, and you know that makes Frank die. Look at that prop paladin, man.
But
I'm-
other
I'm-
than like,
A part of my
But-
problem that I discovered in M Plus this week was that when I started click casting, because I'm not using cell anymore, I don't know if I hit
Oh,
this button
no.
or if it just like auto defaults on, but like
Full timer.
no, that too. It was the mouse over like button that if you're moused over someone and you hit a button, it'll like choose them. And so like I'd gone the whole beta cycle. It had to be auto turned on because I definitely did turn on in beta. I went the whole beta cycle going like, why the hell are my interrupts not hitting the target? And I thought it was a bug. I was like, they're surely gonna fix this. It made it in the live, and I say it made it in the live. No, my default turned on, I guess. And I was going through M Plus, going like, I just threw my shield at that. Why did it not interrupt it? Only to discover that it like hit someone over to the left. And then I also was discovering that my wogs, my word of glories, were not hitting myself. I was like, what the hell? That did no healing. Only to discover that it was like hitting Stoop off in the middle of nowhere. And so
oh no,
that was a
probably
huge
needs it.
problem for me, prop pounds. I wonder, don't get me wrong, they probably would still be, but like I wonder if like 2 of these percents like are because of that
Or
stupid
because of that.
that stupid mouse over shit. I don't know. Prot apparently needs tuning to survive better, anyways. But we haven't seen it yet.
I
It
think
ain't-
the
it ain't
same way
coming.
we saw a lot of BM hunters on the bottom because they're so tuned out because it's
Yeah.
easy and they're brain capacity
Proud
is
Paladin
lower.
isn't the
I
easiest
think.
tank to play.
Well, but maybe dumb people play it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to give
okay.
some
You know what?
hypotheses.
Look, I just
You
want
know
to. I
what? I can
just.
get
Does
behind
anybody
that.
have? I like your theory about Word of Glory or whatever, but I mean,
No,
my
I
theory is
don't.
just as valid.
I don't. Yeah, I don't
Oh.
really know what that could be causing the tank deaths outside of just maybe just some inexperience with not having like a taunt
No,
So,
swap thing.
my
But
point to Lithian was going to be that the randomness is in the boss's damage happening to the tanks,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because this is percentage wise, I'm not going to do the math. We've done enough like jumping around, but like it is a significant enough difference that it's like lopsided to the point where tanks are just getting deleted. And again, we've seen it in our own raid, right? Like we just like doing Veracius. I just thought, okay, I've got like this, you know, it wasn't a huge defensive. I didn't have any left, but I like used like a 20% damage reduction, and it wasn't enough to handle his
Yeah.
slams.
Mhm.
Now again, I am a little less lighter geared. I just haven't like had really shit luck with gear so far. But it is definitely not just me, right?
No,
And
it's not.
I think there's like two things happening. One, the tank's responsibility is a lot more intent on taking care of like surviving, which again I think is a good gameplay mechanic for tanks. I just wish it like wasn't unfair sometimes. And two, as Lithian was trying to point out, though, the mechanics are very clearly telegraphed. And Io, you can talk more about this, but like healing definitely is different too. The
Yeah,
game
for
is
sure.
not about yo-yoing like to 0 to 100, 0 to 100. It's more of
Yep.
like a constant threat of like, you know, how do I juggle? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
So,
pretty much you're. I don't want to say like you're drowning because I think if you know what you're doing, that's not a you know people aren't going to die, but there's definitely going to be people in uncomfortable health ranges for longer periods than they may be used to, or maybe you're used to, kind of
let me ask you this, Io.
thing.
I've always
Yeah.
been a fan of healing assignments, but with some of our current healers, ones that aren't parsing very well, they've
That-
always fought back on that and said it's
I
not.
wonder why they are the ones who
Yeah,
fight back.
well, you know,
on it.
I just it was a hill I was not willing to die on, but I just wanted to get your opinion. Is like for me, if I'm raid leading and I have
Well-
5 healers and 5 groups, I'm not saying you have
Yep.
to stay within the lane, but I'm just saying like this lane is yours. And you know,
No.
when there's AoE healing going out, you know, this is the 5 people I want you to make sure that you keep
Yeah.
alive. Is that fair?
If
Is
somebody
that normal?
dies in your lane,
The-
ask you about it.
Yeah,
the
I am.
closest
Yeah.
I've experienced that in retail is in Mythic Raid. They would use MDT to assign our cooldown specifically, so that's kind of it's
Right.
not quite the same
That
thing.
makes more sense, yeah.
But I think the reason why it's tough to do it that way is because like if one person, let's just say, you're like focus on this person, and one person's group doesn't really move and other people's groups are more intent. Like I don't know. It's just I think it's just doesn't I don't think I would find that enjoyable. I think I would like that less than
No,
if
but
we're talking like classic World of Warcraft
Yeah,
where
yeah. It
everything's
was
a little
obviously much more.
slower.
Yeah.
I think that that's more interesting in that space, but I think in retail, especially with how fast paced everything is, I'd rather be just kind of keeping an eye on everybody.
Well,
the
go on, Lithian.
the best part in on that one boss, where you guys were calling for defensives and you were calling for
Cooldowns.
darkness and you were calling for healer cooldowns throughout the AoE damage phases. I thought that was great, right? I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, that was
that's the way it
I-
should be.
I like that. That's fun. Like in Heroic Raid, especially the last couple of expansions, you haven't really had to do that. Everyone's just been able to kind of wing
Yeah.
it, and
Well,
it's just been and
Not always.
no,
We
maybe not
definitely
all-
had
well,
that.
okay.
I've tried to do it, and then I'm getting told by again some of our healers that aren't parsing very well. Oh, I already used it. And I'm like, on what? We didn't have
need-
anything fucking
But-
happen.
You
I
need a daddy
think
on them. That's what we
in
need.
this raid in particular, because there is so much AoE damage and because defensives are not as fruitful between everyone, I do think it is definitely beneficial for if
Yeah.
you have AMZs or
Yeah.
darkness or rally or whatever, just to
Or master.
try to get those coordinated. You don't necessarily need to do the healing cooldowns because I mean I'm not going to keep track of like when Brewcast has his like a celestial up, and I'm not going to be able to keep track of like everybody, like whenever everyone has something, but at least that stuff is easy to keep track of. So it's definitely good it's fun to be able to actually let everyone use their cooldowns like that instead of just not needing them.
It's like when Scrap drops darkness before a pull, like
No,
in
I
the
drop
pull
darkness
timer.
exactly when I was instructed to every time.
Not the
So,
first. Not the first.
if I was
You're like,
instructed,
I gotta see how this works, and you put it down on
no,
the pull
what
timer.
happened? What happened is you guys prep me. You're gonna use darkness here when we say it. I say when you say it, okay. And Concha said use darkness now, and I said okay, and I used it because it was very funny. So
Yeah,
I do it for the bit
for the
first,
Make
for
'em
the raid
laugh,
second.
make.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
So,
the classic Scrap darkness bit. It'll come back.
it'll
All right.
come back. I hope not.
I'm alarmed that we've already hit 45 minutes, so I'm gonna keep things
Well, Frank,
moving.
can I
Yes,
suggest something?
hit us, Scrap.
So when we raid on Tuesday, every time one of you guys dies, we'll do a survey and we'll figure out what category, what was the reason. Healer failing, top
It's always
swap,
healer failing.
add-on loss, wasn't paying attention. And what we're gonna collect those, aggregate them, and we'll come up with
You
an
were
answer of what
very
it is.
generous with your word "we."
You. No, I'll do the survey. I'll do the survey.
Scrap will get the data.
I'll
in
get
a
the data.
very dirty fashion.
I will get the data.
I can't trust
Okay.
you to get the data because you're just gonna like man on the street it going, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
tell me what you
that's
think."
right.
What? Hey.
I'll get the anecdotal
For a
It's
data.
not.
dollar.
Yeah, you're gonna get anecdotal data. That's not
You know
data.
what? You know what I'm gonna
It's
do? I'm gonna
vibes.
ask
You're
a
getting me
random.
vibe data.
I'm gonna ask the tank who died what happened. I'm gonna ask a random healer what happened. I'm gonna ask
He's
a
a
random
detective.
DPS what happened, so that we can get every
Yeah,
perspective
because
on why you
Stoop
died.
is gonna have really good input onto why I died.
I don't think the DPS input should be discounted here, Frank. There's
I
more
think the
DPS
DPS
than
input
tank.
I'm
should
already
be discounted
exhausted.
100%.
One time, Stoop said that he knew how that first fight in My Sarah was going. Didn't run into the trap, and Scrap's like, I don't think you know how this works.
He's
Dude,
so
the
he
one
was so
time-
confident when he said
Look,
that.
I love Stoop. The best bit that got me was when that fear frontal went out and he said he was already feared before it went off.
Oh,
He hit
yeah.
everybody with
All
it.
right, all right,
It was
let's
great.
come
I
on, let's
love
But
keep
to
it.
be fair, yeah, I would say fair to Stoop. He's doing quite well in keys. That
He
was
is.
hilarious when I asked him, "Do you know how this boss goes?" He's like, he so confidently, so quickly said, "Yeah," and then he
Yeah.
immediately proved that he did not know at all how the boss worked.
Look, Stoop has not
Oh.
faced the wrath of my Toxic Jar yet, if I remember.
No, he
correctly.
hasn't. He hasn't
So,
because he's been trying
he is
really
the
hard.
reason
I mean,
why
he's,
I said I'm going to create the Toxic
Yeah.
Jar.
he's very
um,
well geared, and
speaking of
he's not
which,
making more mistakes than me.
I put like
so.
$70 in or whatever over the
Oh
week
yeah,
because
Mythic Plus has been good for me and Lithian steak
Oh, yeah,
dinner
dude.
prospects.
I think I
Thanks.
called you a cow at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called a cow. I mean, I'm often called a donkey. Just keep moving through the farm animals, like.
Oh.
Starting to
Someone-
think Frank has like a Stockholm syndrome with it, where he gets satisfaction every time he puts money in. He's just
No,
like,
in fairness,
yeah,
I'm
put
just
more
like,
money.
fine, fuck it, and then I yell at them.
Well, I brought up that you pay us when we make you crash out, right? So you've
It's sport now.
you've incentivized
know.
us
Yeah.
to
And
crash out
but
with
you
money.
again, you think this is about you. No, but in fairness, if I really want to push myself to the limit of getting not toxy, you guys testing me is the best way to grow, right?
And how's that
Oh, yeah,
working
you're
out?
gonna
70
grow.
It's
hours
early
later?
in the season. So okay, folks at home, let me tell you about something. You know,
Well,
you
Wait,
know
for
the
the
boss.
folks who might not know, just run it. Just what's the Toxie jar?
You
and
know-
then-
Oh well, the toxic jar is every time I get toxic and yell at someone, I have to put money in it. Effectively.
Yeah.
What happened was we were in Seat of Triumvirate and we were on the third boss, and I warned them not to get hit by the orbs. And I say them, I mean Scrap and Moosham, who is Haywire's our friend of the podcast. And they proceed to keep dying to the orbs, but yet they keep telling me, no, I died to melee from the boss. I got aggro somehow. We already established with them that was a bug and that I had actual proof of what they died from. And yet they still were adamant that they were doing the mechanics correctly. Of course,
saying I
I'm
got
going to
melee.
crash out after we do like 6 attempts on the boss.
How do I know your meter isn't
Shut up.
bugged?
right.
What?
I didn't lose aggro, by
So,
the way.
Back to the
I
topic.
don't know why
Back to the
I think
topic.
maybe
yeah,
I got
yeah, you lost
meleeed and it was
aggro
the
2
bug.
minutes into the fight.
Yeah.
Back to the topic. So, do you guys think that this is actually a better scenario for raiding? Do you think this is healthy for WoW to have this kind of environment where tanks are deadly, Mechanics are easy to understand, and the reason you die is because
I
your healers are not managing it correctly. Yada
so
yada.
I feel like before, I mean, let me tell you about my experience off tanking. I did it like 3 times when we were
What?
in a pinch, and like in Shadowlands. And off tanking is the most boring,
It
most
is.
lame job ever. When
There's
the
no
main
off
tank
tank.
tells you to taunt, you taunt, and you don't. You just that's all you have to do. Like
Well, no,
so.
there are some fights that the mechanics for the tanks are like important.
There's like 1 or 2 per raid, right? But like, so
The
it's
the
it's it's
No, there's
cool
more.
mechanics.
that like the tanks have to work hard in the
Yeah,
raid because I
the
feel like the
mechanics
DPS and
right
healers have
now.
to work hard.
Mechanics right now are stay alive. Like
Yeah.
Right. So let me
I
run you
have to
through it real quick.
know.
Or go on
hmm
with you. Sorry.
Well, I have to know how to manage my defensives on certain boss fights because I know I'm gonna get slammed like
Yes.
6 times, and I
Yes.
have to be able to
Right.
mitigate all of them
No, but
because I
That's good.
can't
I
trust
mean,
the healers.
it like the DPS. It's like you have to play perfectly too. So it's like,
no,
of
like
course you should
there's
know how to
only
do that.
one fight off the top of my head that the tanks aren't doing something. It's chimeras, right? Like we just have to like swap whenever the down phase goes,
No, I'm
and
talking
then
about in the past. It seems like tanking was a very boring job in the raid in
no,
past
they've
raids.
done better. It's not great
Yeah.
all the time, yes, of course, but they've
Mhm.
done better. I'm thinking Maniforge right now. Like again, the mechanics weren't a lot. Like the moth guy, his mechanics were easy, but like we have to play tic tac toe unsuccessfully apparently. We
Mhm.
have a Saladar where we have to move him around quite a lot and make sure everything's like safe, and then of course do our own mechanics. We have the smash mechanics of Verasius. The dragons are in another realm of like chaos happening for us, not tail swiping people. And then Illyria is pretty involved too. So like, it's pretty involved for the tanks right now.
Yeah, this one
That
especially.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
was just
saying.
I
It
just
should be that
realized.
way.
yeah. But again, it's not to say like, are we putting all this burden on the shoulders of the tanks now while everyone else in the raid gets easier mechanics?
No, I think the tanks are being brought up to speed with everybody else. Like they
You
have to do
know,
as much as we're doing. Every fight is exciting as a DPS in most raids, whereas there's normally like 1 fight per raid that's fun for the tanks.
I did LFR on one of my alts,
Hmm.
and
Oh
I
no.
got to the double dragon, and I didn't realize the tail swipe knocks you clear across the room.
Yep.
And because I thought, oh, you just got knocked down, and I don't care, right? I didn't know it knocked you like all the way across the freaking thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to figure out how to deal with
Yeah,
that.
no. We had an incident in our raid where I'd like literally sat still for like a minute and a half, and I forgot that the part where the circle forms and you get pulled in and you had to run out of the circle. I had forgot that like I'd done that mechanic, so I tail swiped everyone when I moved it to the right instead of the left.
What?
And they were like, "Yeah, the tank tail swiped me." I'm like, "There's no fucking way." I've been standing still for like a minute and a half, and it completely blocked it out of my mind. And then I looked at the logs. I'm
Yeah,
like, "Oh no,
Frank's
I'm an
about to
idiot.
drop 10.
I'm an idiot." No, it was on me. It was on me.
Yeah.
But okay. But at the end of the day, is this like good for the whole World of Warcraft? Like, yes, maybe it's better or more fun
Um,
for tanks, but is it good?
I think it's not terrible right now. I mean, this first season, I think I'd like to see how it evolves. If it goes back to the way it was by season 3, season 4, then I'm gonna be kind of like, maybe it was just a season 1 thing. But I kind of like the way it is. I don't mind it.
Like, you
It's
have
tough
to
to
think that.
say.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. It's tough to say because I've never tanked a retail raid really, so I guess I don't know what it is from your guys' perspective, but
Well, no, just in general.
the actual fights themselves don't feel like the damage is a little bit different, yeah, for like healing, but outside of that, it doesn't feel entirely too different, at least on heroic from the past couple of tiers. So I don't know if I would necessarily have a great read on if it's good or bad. Maybe in a couple patches we can look back and get a better idea. But for right now, I don't really see anything that's like jumping out at me as like this isn't good or bad or whatever.
Like, I mean, I think the biggest reason this is happening is because of the healing changes. Do you think this
Mhm.
is a better healing like feel?
I think it's more fun for sure because I think it kind of forces us to think a little bit more, which is definitely fun for me. I can't speak for everybody, but and even like there's a fight where you know you're going to get smacked and you only have a 20% defensive, so you call for like an external. And I think that's fun when we can actually use all the buttons in our kit. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with it for sure, but I could also see where maybe down the road it could be potentially an issue if people don't like it. But I know for me, I at least enjoy it.
Right. Anyone else?
No, I mean I can't really speak to it, but I don't know.
Are you
It's
are you
cool.
having fun with the idea that everything's not a one-shot mechanic as a
Yeah.
DPS?
I mean,
Are
I'm
you
getting
are you
one
having
shot a couple
fun
times.
as a
I think the raid
devourer?
I think the raid is great. Like I think all the bosses are really cool, and so far I enjoy it. I don't think we're gonna smash it too fast. Like, but it's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
I think our average is 5 weeks.
600 pulls.
No, our average. I know that
It's-
our average for the last boss is like around 100. It's like 80 to 100.
No, but I'm talking about
pulls.
how much time? Like usually the
How much
fifth week.
time? About a month and a half.
Yeah. So like
think.
fifth week.
Yeah,
I
we
think.
get a lot of good content out of the raid.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love raiding.
And
The-
then once we get AOTC, we stop farming it, or we don't farm it.
I
so-
love the like us all working together to do this thing. You know, it's fun for about a month and a half, maybe even 2 months. It might be fun, but once we get the thing, I'm over it. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't raid.
Yeah, especially
'cause I
because we all
enjoy it.
do M plus, so you're gonna get better gear in your vault anyway. So unless you specifically need a trinket, like there's no reason to farm it.
Well, with the new
Yeah, yeah.
the new dinar system. Quote
Oh,
unquote.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Good
I can
point.
see. That's the thing is that like Mythic Plus, and I think we're gonna veer into this topic a bit later. Is
Well, we're about
I
to.
very much,
We're already
yeah,
at
I
an
very
hour.
much play for the enjoyment of it. Like I'll get on Mythic Plus, don't need gear out of this, don't need points. Like I have fun in it. Rating, I do enjoy it, but I enjoy it because of the goal we're working towards. You know that we're all working towards, and get that AOTC feels really good. And once that's gone, I'm like, I don't want to do that again. Like we already did it, it's done. Like you know, so
I get it.
yeah, no, but so far this raid seems really cool, and I really like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's in the past, like you know, War Within and Dragonflight and stuff. I think it's up there for me so far. We haven't even seen the last two bosses, which I think are going to be absolute bangers.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I the Bella Ren fight looks fun at the very
I saw
least.
that. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
cool.
You know how difficult of a time we have matching colors, and I feel like that if I recall correctly, I think
Anjin.
that's dude, it was so bad. Personal accountability is our downfall.
Yeah, we struggle.
100%.
I think that's probably a failing point for a lot of guilds. Personal
Before
responsibility.
we jump on to the next thing though, Frank, what do you think would be like bad for the game if people thought it was bad? Because I know you were asking if we think it's good for the game. Like I don't know, have you seen anybody say something about the raid on heroic or whatever?
Well, not necessarily about heroic or not. It's more of like
Okay.
the problem that everyone always. Again, I'm inferring a lot here, but tanking is a problem for WoW, right?
Right.
And it's already hard to get people to come and tank for M plus, which right now I'd say if you're a tank, you have the feast of whatever you want keys wise. And on top of that, like making raid really hard for tanks is not necessarily going to bring people in, but at the same time, if it's more fun for tanks, which again, let's take out the dying part and just talk about the mechanics part. I think this is, for the most part, some things that the tanks have to be working on, even off tanks. So like, that's just an example of where it might be a problem. I think the healing is much better in general. So like, I'm thumbs up to that. We've played, or at least I've played without add-ons, and I'm so far enjoying that. I love the fact that my frame rate's not crashing every 3 seconds. And yeah, I don't know. Like the other thing I'm worried about, and this is more about the Race to World First, is like, if we give the people a reason to naysay and shit all over WoW, it's just like, it's such a head. It's like so annoying, even within our own Discord, where it's just like rolling your eyes, like, yeah, the game's the worst it's ever been. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just, and they're basing it off the fact that Liquid killed it in 10 pulls.
Yeah, that's not it. I mean, there's plenty that we can criticize WoW for right now, but tuning I feel like is a hard thing because it's like, oh, like at least for Mythic Plus, it's like, oh, like 10s are easy. It's like, okay, so you'll push to 15s instead of 12s wherever you're, like, it doesn't really matter. It's an infinitely scaling system. Like you're gonna push.
Right.
It's gonna be like
It's all relative.
this shit's easy, this shit's sweaty. Like it doesn't matter what the number is. For raid, I guess it's not my baby, so I don't know. But I guess the way I see it, if we crush this in like 2 weeks, I mean, we'll probably jump into Mythic a little bit, like just to get a little bit of a push. I don't think we'll clear Mythic, but like, I wouldn't mind doing that if it's easy. Like,
If
I
it's
don't know.
easy, you say.
You want to put a bow on
So to
rating?
me, I don't know.
Anything else?
Nah.
Nah.
Okay. Let's move on to Mythic Plus then. So I've
right.
got more data, folks.
Yay!
I
I'm
pulled-
starting to really like data, Frank.
Good. My PowerPoints will blow you away. Okay. Here is from season 2 of The War Within. I've chosen season 2 because season 1 was notoriously hard, so I felt like it wasn't necessarily a fair comparison. Okay. Despite the fact that obviously gearing up in the first season is a different beast. This is what the key completion looked like on week 1 of season 2. All right. Now, there were some 12s, 13, 14s done, but they won't show up on the graph. That's okay, whatever. It's not really a concern of ours just yet. But look at the +2s, look at, 5s and 4s, and then of course you get the 10s, which were like a 50% slip, right? Of not timing and timing. Now this was
so many failed +2s.
well, that's not uncommon. I mean, we can look at season 3. Where we go?
That's fair.
Right.
Actually, I guess
it was
laugh
actually
at
was
it,
uncommon, yeah. But there was
didn't
still a
seem
lot.
super
There was
common,
still a lot,
but-
right?
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so that is the War Within and what you saw in the first week of M+. Here is currently the
Look, there's
midnight.
nobody failed it too. It's never been done.
So 99% of 2s have been timed. Okay,
Mhm.
again to compare.
99%. That's psychotic.
This is season 3 with 91%, which I thought was already pretty low. But like, let's look at season 2. 78.9% of them were timed. Okay.
What about season 1?
I'm wondering how many of those are people
Well,
leaving.
we can look at season 1 just to. Yeah. Well, so the abandoned came in season 3, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
So 89%. Okay.
Yeah. Look at how difficult the 10s weren't even happening.
So yeah, let's look at 10s now. Okay, so enough to the point where 4, 5, 6 is like still look. It's even easier to time a 5 apparently, 93%.
Yeah.
Right. and I know that's obviously not necessarily saying ease, but whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but what effectively happened was everyone got 2s +3 to everyone got 5s +3 to, right? Or whatever they did with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's exactly what happened.
So like look at again, no red whatsoever up until +6. And then we got our +10. So +10s, 84.6% completion rate compared to, I'm not gonna do season 1 again because that was super hard. Compared to 53.4% of 10s.
I mean,
It was what? What was the season 1?
84.6 versus 50.
Oh wow,
We'll
it's
just
like
call it
30% jump.
I mean, we contributed to
Yeah, we
some
got
of
a
the
lot of the
red on
reds.
11s.
Okay.
And
for
10s.
sure.
Do you want to talk about this now? I have something
Yeah.
I'll
So
rant about.
what's interesting, just look at the data, is that people aren't pushing past like so many people are doing 10s, but people aren't really pushing past like 13, 14. So it's
Yes,
not
they are.
like
That's
the goalpost
because,
moved.
Well,
They've attempted a
That's
19.
because only
Fuck.
a certain like echelon of the
Yeah.
player base can get that high scrap. That's
But what
why.
I'm
this-
but what
at
I'm
this
saying is
time-
that if I was seeing these numbers, I would expect 10 is like at the 5 level, but then you'd expect 5 more levels of keys above that. You know what I mean? Like
Again, so
Well,
Yeah.
the highest key
But-
in week 1 was a 15. The highest key right now is a 19. Well, and again, it wasn't.
yeah,
timed, but
I'm not arguing with the data. I'm just saying it's interesting that people are,
I can't
like
believe there's
there must
31
be a
timed
steep fall off.
18s this week. That's crazy.
31
Yeah.
timed 18.
I'm
So
like-
you can't
I'm
argue
willing
with
to
the
bet
data.
they're like half of one group and half of another group, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we can pull that up if you really want, but I'm not going to worry.
No,
About
no, because it's only
No.
the first couple of weeks. Usually, it's only a couple groups pushing because all the other groups are gearing up or doing raid or doing other things.
Yeah, you're done
so-
at 10s because you're like, why bother?
Yeah,
Okay, Frank, I'm sorry. I cut you off looking at the data. What were you gonna say?
he was gonna rant
I-
or something.
I'm
Yeah, have
gonna,
a
I'm
rant.
gonna rant. Well, not really rant.
Oh,
I'm just
no.
I'm gonna wallow for a second. How about that?
Oh, Wallow. That's
Wallow.
good.
This is allegedly
Wallow.
the easiest season ever, and yet I feel
Uh-huh,
like a
uh-huh.
fucking failure.
Yeah.
We have.
I
we have
wonder
had
if that
such a
has to
hard
do
time.
with the vibe build.
No, it has nothing to do with the vibe build.
I don't know.
I'll give you an
I don't
example,
know, I'm
Scrub.
not vibe building.
I did a +10 pug, a healing,
Mhm.
and it went beautifully. It was so fucking easy. And then I
Mhm.
tried +10s, and again, we had a little bit of a a weight to our run because we were carrying some people. But but like it's not even that. It's just like you guys make it so much harder.
Dude,
Scrap does.
Lithian and I, we were blasting 10s and 11s.
Well, you had Ayaski with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wasn't- he wasn't
you have
vibing.
a professional healer with you, right?
But we did some 10s
I
times
got
some
knocked
10s in a
off the
pug.
bridge.
Yeah,
I know.
but I'll also say, like, these 10s that we were timing, Lithian and I timed a 10 in a pug where he didn't know the route. We had to go back and get stuff. We had a full wipe on a boss, and we still timed the 10.
I know. That's
Like,
that's the appalling thing.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
damage. So
Was
because we were
decent, high.
carrying before, it was really hurtful, right? But the damage in that key was really good. If the damage is good, you can run through it pretty quick.
But the damage that we have in, no set, 2 set, maybe, like, not even close to the capstone of heroic gear is blasting us through 10s. Like, it is unusual tuning, and you
I
can't
mean,
argue with the data.
we were doing 11s just fine.
We probably could have done a 12. I just didn't want to bother with it.
Yeah, because now you're starting to hit on the edge.
Well, I heard that 12s is a bit of a steep wall to it, too.
But hold on. If you add Frank in the group and you take Ayaski out, what happens?
And and they both play. Hold on, and they both play Holy Paladin, but one of them is acknowledging the guide, and the other one's ignoring it.
Take a second to talk about vibe building, right? So again, for those of you who don't know, my goal this season is to vibe build all my talents. I will say that the talent tree is not the hard part. The part that's hard is like learning what trinkets actually are good and learning what your specs are or your stat weight is, right? That's the fucking hard part. But anyways, we were doing a +10 magisters. We were not even close to timing it, so it was like
we were in it for an hour and 10 minutes.
And I was on the last boss, and so like I asked you will know what I'm talking about here, but my vibe build was like very much built on the what's the Avenging Crusader alternative? It's like Crusader.
No, Avenging Wrath is the main one. Avenging Crusader was the one you were using.
Yeah, so I was using Avenging Crusader, which is like the melee, like you do melee damage and you heal through it, right? And I was like having a good time with it. It's like the playstyle I wanted to play. But then we were doing that last boss, and you guys were just like taking so much fucking damage that anytime I used it off cooldown, I wasn't able to use a global to do any melee damage with like Crusader Strike or anything. And so I had to turn that off. I just like, that's not going to work out, not at least until I get gear back. But again, like I keep looking at the town tree and I keep going like, well, what might be the problem if it's like I'm not keeping up? It's not that I'm not keeping up. It's not the towns, right? I like maybe 1 or 2 things are like losing 5% throughput for me, right? But it's not that. It's like it's the way we're playing. Now again, obviously to Lithian's point, if we're doing subpar DPS, we look at we'll look at the parses right now.
It makes everything harder.
Right. So here's this is MDL. Let's look at E-team. Here we go. E-team polls, right?
Oh no.
Oh no.
So
uh-oh.
Was this
You're in trouble.
This is it right here, right? And granted, when we do an hour run,
if you look at the parse, the hour run is gonna give us all zeros.
But like you guys are doing 53K, like.
No, but if we're wiping on a single target fight repeatedly, it's gonna come out at 53K. Like I've been crossing 100 in quite a few keys.
We timed this one, and the tank finished 3rd, right? But you guys still were in the 60s and 57s, right? And this was timed.
Yeah. Well, that was day 1. We didn't need gear.
No, this wasn't day 1.
Sorry,
no, it's day 1 of season.
Yeah, it was day 1.
1 of season. Okay,
Chill.
Chill
on that. Okay.
But the damage matters, right? Because obviously, if I'm in a fight for 4.5 minutes instead of 3 minutes or whatever, it's like that's gonna crush me. But yeah, like as soon as I did a pug of someone else, it's like, yeah, we +3'd it was no big deal. I'm wallowing in also the fact that I came out blasting as Frankenberry, my mage. I was like, oh hell yeah, vibe build working, we're going. And this is probably more of a gear thing because again, I've been just really unlucky with gear. But now people are like blasting the shit out of me in the 10s, and I'm just feeling like a dead weight. Hopefully that will be corrected as I get more gear, but God knows I'm not getting the right stats.
I kind of figured out like between the first day or even like Thursday and now that my stat weights were unbelievably off, and I didn't know that had such a large impact.
Oh yeah.
Like to the point where I was like simming Like I simmed myself and I simmed the other demon hunter in our guild who was like running fucking laps around me, and he simmed 20k higher than me, and I was like, what the fuck? Because we're the same item level.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the stat weights, and he had 5 times as much mastery as me, and I was like, maybe I should do more mastery or something. And
Frank,
I started stacking it, and all of a sudden I was doing better. So
I'll let you know
that's a big
that
deal.
Oh,
you're
are you pulling?
within.
Are you pulling the data?
I'm letting you know that you're within 8% of being
Meta.
using the meta
Yeah,
talent builds, right?
Oh, so
So
you're not quite crossing my
so yeah,
high
Go,
roll.
go to
whatever the
sleep. Go to
scrap
sleep,
thing
Scrap.
was,
8%
but
is fine, I think.
but you're 8%, which is I think 3 or 4 talents off, right?
Okay.
But
By the way,
it's
sorry, let's
not
explain this. Lithium built something that lets him see what my talents are and the meta talents are to see the comparison of like what he argued was, am I cheating? But
If you're
effectively
cheating,
what he's telling me
yeah.
right now is he's able to tell how off I am from the meta.
Yeah.
technically everybody can see it
Yeah,
if
sure,
they know where to
sure,
go.
sure, yeah.
But either way, um, either way, it isn't just the talents though. It's the stat weights, it's the trinkets,
Of course,
it's
of course.
the, and I think all that stuff is also
Well,
kind of weighty.
yeah, my trinkets are good. I know I've got, I mean, they're champion track, but I know I've got good trinkets. Because like everyone and their mother rolled on it the second it dropped. But
Oh, you got Gale,
yeah, whatever the one
The
out of
gaze.
yeah, the gaze.
Gaze,
Oh, I need
Gaze.
that.
I mean,
Um
everybody needs it.
yeah. But I know that this is a little bit of a cheat because again I've played Holy Paladin before.
Cheat.
I know what is
Got him.
supposed to be good for Holy Paladin. At least one of the 2 specs or stats I would say. So it's not even that. Like it's just that I think I'm hoping. Again, I'm trying to get on my wallow, but like I've not enjoyed this season so far.
It's been 5 days.
I know. I'm not saying I'm like being yeah, I
A
get
lot of
it.
pressure to put on the season.
No, but like, we've been playing a lot, right? And
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'll also say I'm trying to get more sleep, so I'm trying not to play as late as you guys are. But no, I'm not enjoying it for several reasons. One, I'm genuinely at the point now where the vibe building is stressing me out because I'm like, wait,
Not vibing anymore.
I'm not vibing anymore. Now the talent
Yeah.
build was fine. Again, the talent build was like, okay, that was fun. But now I'm sitting there going like, oh shit, wait, like is mastery actually good for arcane or not? Is crit,
Yeah.
what I do truly want? I think crit is what I want for Holy Paladin, but like it makes all sense. But am I fucking wrong because of the way everything's changed?
Yeah.
And so
That would give me so much anxiety, honestly, doing what you're
well,
doing.
it doesn't. It didn't give me anxiety at first because again, on Frankenberry, I was like blasting, going to 7s and trying to just get some hero track gear and stuff. It was fine, but then when I got to the 10s, it was like, oh shit, and everyone else is having a fucking easy time and I'm not. What the fuck am I doing
Yeah.
wrong? So
Listen,
yeah, it's been stressful.
hold on a second, because you made some claims that are
Oh.
Uh-oh.
wrong.
Oh. Well, then
People in the
that's good for me,
comments
I
are going to
guess.
correct you. So now you can't read the comments.
No comments, Frank.
'Cause-
Oh, yeah.
'cause-
Well, don't comment it, folks. Don't comment. I'll not.
Just-
I'll try. I'll not. But
Yeah, don't
No,
comment on our
so
YouTube video,
don't-
guys.
don't
It's great
sway
for the
my vibe
algorithm.
builds.
So I will say, I played Holy Paladin for a while.
He's gonna
and
give me some
part of the
information here, just
reason.
watch.
No. Part of the reason why
Don't
I've
cheat.
had a lot of success this early in the season is because aside from just already having experience with the spec, I
Yeah.
played these dungeons a bunch of times on the
Yeah,
beta, so
yeah.
I just know them. And I
Mhm.
think if you're trying to not only
Well, I know them too, though.
pick healer back up, but also really kind of gel with it while also having to learn the dungeons. Like, I mean, I think like, it's going to be a bit more difficult than like if you were already kind of
I ask you.
a bit more ingrained in it.
You look. I know the dungeons like the back of my hand, right?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
for
know.
sure.
Right. I've written and edit videos to show every single thing possible to the point where I'm explaining to those 2 numbskulls
Yeah,
what
and
to
if for
do,
some reason,
and they're
someone
just
out
not
there-
doing it. I think what happened, I ask you, is I set them up for success. As soon as I stepped out, you're like, good. Now they actually know it because Frank freaked the fuck out and put $70 in the goddamn toxic jar.
Yeah, we got a tutor who gave us all the knowledge, all the money, and then he set us free to go to the pugs and absolutely blast some
Yeah.
fucking keys with pugs. Like I was gonna say, I didn't
But-
have any questions
to
when
your
Lithia and
point,
I
though-
ran because I knew it all.
But to your point, I ask you, right? Obviously, picking up, I think the number one thing that makes a healer great is that moment of stress of knowing how to, solve this big problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll get us back on track, right? My
Yep.
problem is that it, like, again, with them constantly taking us off track, I don't have that rhythm yet, and that's obviously a big part of healing and being
Yeah,
successful. You have that,
and
so that's why you'll be much
and
more
that's
successful.
yeah, and aside from not only having that rhythm, I think you are more in the group leader role than I
Yeah,
am. So
yeah,
I'm not trying to also like shock all the key while
yeah.
doing it. So I'm like,
Please
I think
interrupt
it's a little bit
Skull.
easier
No
for
one
me
Oh
to
interrupt
no.
Skull.
focus.
But do you
I
think the
Yeah.
key went smoother without somebody barking orders the whole
Oh.
time? Because I felt like
Play
it
the
kind
play
of
the clip,
did.
Lithium. Play the clip
Oh.
where I asked you, told me not to shock
Oh,
call.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh no. Do you have that one
yeah.
still?
That was a good one. That was a
Okay,
good
I'll
one.
make a note to put this clip in here.
But
If we still have it.
I'll tell you, I made some pretty questionable pulls when Ioski was healing.
You don't know the
And
routes at all.
no, I still don't know the routes, and I'm still trying to figure out how I want to pull some of these dungeons. And I made some sketchy pulls, and
But
we managed through.
the timer is so comfortable in
There
all these
was
dungeons at
Well,
10
you
level
could
that we
play
can
like
make
in
mistakes.
tens. You could play around a little bit.
Yeah, we can
If
make
I
mistakes and come back.
remember, I think you pulled one of those chain guys and seat like into the rift to the
Subjugators.
portal guy, and those were that was kind of rough because I think we had
Yeah.
just went into that and I had just
Yeah.
like used my cooldown in like the previous pack, so like once everyone
Right.
started taking damage, I was like, shit.
I
We're
remember
fucked.
So,
that because I was
but
yelling at Lydian to go.
well, Haywire's like, why do you keep moving the mobs? And I'm like, dude, I'm getting kicked all over the
Yeah.
place. And he's like, oh, my bad. But no, like, and to be fair, sometimes there was a demon hunter that was eye beaming into mobs and into other packs, so that didn't help either.
Sometimes that happens.
So
You can't avoid that.
what's really funny is I read somewhere the at 10 and higher the most failed abandoned key is actually Algathar's Academy, and that
It's the
actually kind of
start.
shocked me. It's the start,
Well,
and I
It's
think
the
it's the
start.
last boss too. I think the last boss this season is
yeah,
a bit
the
Oh
last
tougher.
my god.
boss.
Wasn't that the one we did with Pugs, Lithian? That they
Oh, it was
couldn't
so bad.
Dude, we did the last boss with Pugs and we were like kinda on the time we were like on
Oh
the
yeah, there it
timer as we
is.
were trying
Look
to
at all that
Wait,
red there.
what
Oh
is
my
this though?
god.
That's
That's
the pole, isn't it? The
Yeah,
tree.
that's the
No,
last
this
boss.
this is the poll right
No,
here.
that's gotta be the last boss, isn't it?
No,
Oh
That-
yeah,
no,
yeah.
there's the last boss.
'Cause- Oh
Oh
wait,
no,
I'm
okay,
turned
wait.
around.
Oh, is
People
that the
fall
first?
off?
That's where you hop over. I bet that's
People
supposed to
jump
be up
off
there.
early
This
or
has got to be
something?
this is gonna be off
Wait.
center or something. Something's not right.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's weird.
Like maybe this is where Croth it's like moved over here. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Huh, interesting.
Because Croth
Oh.
is actually pretty brutal, especially since people
Yeah,
don't.
it's a tough boss.
The big thing
Well,
with Alcathar is people keep doing the things that they were doing in Dragonflight, and it doesn't work like that anymore.
Well, when Lithian and I played, we had guys that were just getting hit by the balls, and I brought up
Oh
the
my
point is maybe
gosh.
because people can't
This
see
one?
the debuff as easily. They don't have an add-on that shows them that they're about to drop a puddle. But like it was obscene how many puddles were dropped on
Yeah.
that boss.
Yeah.
I
It
was
was
like, what's
bad.
fucking going
It
on?
was bad. But also the first pull in Algathar, like
It goes good or it doesn't.
I pulled all of them, and we almost got them all before I perished. But I think I was letting the bleed stack. I wasn't pulling it away because you want to know why though? It's because if I pull the mobs too far away, Haywire cries. And
And you pull too slowly.
yeah, and so it's like I can't win with any of you guys. I hate all
Yeah.
of you.
Unfortunately I play this class that is like holding me hostage, and if we don't pull into something immediately, like I will suffer so bad. So
But
I have to
if I
yell.
move the mobs just a little bit, Haywire gets upset with me.
Yeah, he's
So,
got the totem on the ground thing. Interesting.
I
That,
don't
that
know.
must be bugged.
I don't know.
Wonder where that's supposed to be.
I bet it's supposed to be right where you
No,
hop
so guys,
over.
I don't think people go to the tree first anymore.
No, people have been doing yeah, that guy on the left
This
first,
would make
the
sense,
magic boss.
right? They go to
Yeah.
Veximus, and then they come around, and then they hero here, and that's what like these are lining up.
Yeah, but I'd rather
Oh,
have hero on
should
the
I
last
change my
boss.
route? Maybe I should
No,
change my
no,
route.
I'd rather have hero on the last boss because it becomes such a mess. Well, people don't know it, at least. It's a crap
You usually
shoot.
don't have it on last boss because you usually still use it on Veximus.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I want it on last boss, so somebody figure that
I
out.
wouldn't. Veximus is a lot different now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Anyways,
I'll
sorry.
do.
Okay. So enough
Forgot about-
wallowing with enough E team drama, right? We already got to find a new
Well, I
But
don't have any drama. Like I said, I got like 2,600, no problem. I'm not even doing that good.
that's the problem. But anyways,
Yeah, exactly. That's what. That's
here's
the
the
point.
current.
Is the tuning is off.
Yeah,
Look
well,
at all those frost mages,
this is for 10 and
man.
up. This is for 10 and ups, just so you know.
10 and up.
This is like where the meta is forming, and we'll look at some
Okay.
meta data in a second. But
Ooh,
like
look at that.
Frost Mage is, I guess, the ranged meta right now. Unholy seems to be the AoE melee meta. Resto, which was predicted to be meta, is meta. Brew, which for the most part was predicted to be meta, is meta. Rep Paladins, rep palading as they always do.
Always do.
Warlocks have
Yeah.
been blasting and raid, and to the point where they are. Well, I'll see how their DPS looks in Mythic Plus here in a second, but they're like the top. Yeah, Fear.com made a comment about how like the rates the one of the specs is bad of Warlock, and I said, dude, I think I said this to you, Scrap. Like there are 6 classes that none of their specs are higher than the worst ranked spec of Warlock.
Yeah, yeah. Chill.
Yeah, they're all fine. But you know, like Rogue again having trouble. It looks like Subtlety's having some play in it. Fire Mage, I guess, did fall off, even though the numbers said otherwise were going to happen late into beta. What do you guys think of this meta forming so far? Here's the
I'm
actual.
surprised BM is higher than marksmanship because I've seen some marksmanship hunters absolutely
Oh shit!
exploding in
Why
keys.
can't I see this?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of marksman devour og
But I guess BM is just a
combos in the
popular
higher
spec.
keys.
I can't really
Yeah.
easily move
Maybe
this.
that's what I need. Maybe I need Og. That will fix me.
You need
Yeah,
Og.
Unholy Endeavor, like the two, it looks like they're the two outliers, and then or Devour, I
Yeah.
should say, not Dev,
And
because they might
Frost.
think I mean Dev
And
Evoker.
Frost.
And Frost another high one, and I think Frost itself just does enough consistent damage that's probably why it's favored over some of the other specs, because it's not as bursty, but when it is at but it's going to be consistently doing the damage. So when an Unholy Endeavor waiting to ramp back up, it can be a solid baseline for the group in
Yeah.
packs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with target cap too. I don't know what Dev's target cap looks like, but
Everything that can fit in your I-beam.
people are upset that Brew is doing so well, Lithian. You know,
Look, I didn't pick Brew. The wheel picked Brew.
yeah, Brew picked me.
Yeah,
Brew picked me.
You'd have to. What Shadowlands was the last time Brew was meta? Like, let them have their day. Like, what the hell?
I love Brewmaster. It's one of my favorite tanks because it used to be challenging to play. It has its quirks, but it lost a lot of that. But the wheel, I was, if I didn't do the wheel, I probably would have played Guardian Druid because that's my.
It's funny how you and I are the people who are always like so viciously playing an anti-meta class and making it work, and then we've been saddled with the 2 meta specs.
Oh man,
like,
it sucks.
it's
There's so many
interesting.
Brewmaster
It's a lot of
out there.
pressure. Everybody's like, Dev's doing so good. I'm like, who? It's
Yeah.
not me. It's too much pressure.
Who? Not
Yeah.
me. But yeah, no, I wish Blood DK was better though. It kind of makes me sad, but whatever.
I mean,
That's
it's
pretty.
doing decent DPS, and you know, I don't. Well, actually, I feel like there's nothing in the M plus space that is one shot territory. I did a 10 win runner as a healer with a Blood DK. We got it done. I was definitely stressed out, but I don't know what normal stressed out healing a Blood DK looks like.
The couple I've had this season, their damage has felt a lot smoother. Actually, I think like I've actually had with Prot Warrior and Prot Paladin, I've had more like shaky health situations than I had with Blood DKs this season, but it could also just be like a skill thing.
Yeah, you're playing
Guardian's
with me, that's why.
Guardian's pretty beefy too, though. So obviously they're just lower now because their damage got neutered. But
well, no, I mean like the people playing at the top are still crushing it. Nice. I think this is just people like abandoned it, and that's what happened. Is like all the non-meta chasers are just like shit in the bed. Whereas again, Pleb right now they're the highest ranked. You know, I think they're edging out Prot Paladin here a little bit. It's just that maybe the skill cap, the ceiling is higher. You know?
Pleb right now is sacrificing defensive power.
Yeah, I would say Pleb's had some raw bear problems.
Yeah,
he's techniquing it.
Yeah, I know he is, and that's fine.
Fucking great tank, I'm gonna say, but he did coin the term going in raw bear because he'll just run in and die instantly, like because he's going for all this damage stuff. Yep.
All right.
I
Well, what do you guys think of the meta forming? Any concerns?
Well, meta, not concerned, but I think we kind of glossed over what I think the main topic is the tuning of the dungeon difficulty.
Well, I was gonna go into the
well
dungeons themselves,
I
but
want to talk
before
about my
you
opinion on
get
that.
into that though,
What?
isn't anybody gonna talk about Og and where they're sitting?
I haven't
Like,
played with an
me
Yo,
too.
Og.
I mean, it's not
shout
that
out
great.
to Sugar
Dude.
Glider. The first day I did keys, I did a +8 with this guy who got these 3 other people that joined us, a warrior, an Og evoker, and a hunter. And I think the guy we had was an unholy DK. And that was my first 5 10s right there that day. We ran a bunch of keys together.
Mhm.
We stuck together as a group, and the Og, like, he would sometimes be below, like, he would be lower on the damage, obviously, but they actually do some pretty good damage themselves, and the other guys were doing insane damage. Like the survival we had was pumping. They're back to making the other DPS looking really good.
I'm telling you, Og is back. I
Og
said
is
it.
back. It's
Said
up
it.
there. It's getting there. I love
I
it.
said it. I'm gonna play my Og, dude.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah, play
17%
the Og.
spec representation.
That's a healthy amount.
Look at the
I feel like
top.
they've struck
Look
it a
at the
good balance.
comps. Go to Raider.io and look at the comps for the top keys.
They all have Ogs
I
again.
mean, they're not represented as far as
Yeah, and
like
I know, but look at the comps for the top keys, and
Okay.
I guarantee you'll see Ogs in all of them. Guarantee it.
he guarantees it. Boom, 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 boom,
Guarantees
boom, boom,
it.
boom, boom,
Yep.
boom.
Yep.
All
Wow.
right.
What the Lithium guarantee. Wow.
Guarantee.
He guarantees it because he's looking at it right now on his screen.
It's
No, I'm
I do
not. I'm looking
wonder,
at it. I'm looking at it on your stream.
Mhm.
I do
Og is
wonder,
back,
like, what
baby.
Back,
like
baby.
what the value is, if it is just higher DPS overall for the group as a whole, or if they bring more utility again like they used to. I don't entirely know. But you know what though, there are a lot of wonky like bleed dispels in a lot of these dungeons, so maybe them having the 2 is just super valuable.
No. I don't know. I don't get to play my Og too much because I'm too
Lith,
busy
the
playing
number
Brew.
1 ranked team. Is this right?
I don't know what that is, man.
No, because people have been
No,
doing
there's-
18s.
Yeah,
like,
this is
yeah,
what
definitely
is
not
this?
the.
Why is this?
Who
showing
is
me-
this man?
What
What
is
are you
this?
looking at?
I don't know. I just
What
like
is this?
I went to look
What are
at
we
the
looking at?
team leaderboards to see like what team.
I mean, maybe the people that are at the top aren't like a real team. Maybe they aren't like registered as a team on Raider.io.
The number 1 is that Og. Yeah, the number 1 player.
The number
is
1
Og.
player is Og.
Oh, look at that.
Og is back, baby. You heard it here. You heard it here months ago.
Yeah, all day.
In
all
fairness, Lith has
day.
said that every season, so he's just getting lucky now.
He has been.
Yep,
He's right
no,
now.
no. I'm right now.
Clock
It
is
counts.
right twice a day, right?
Yep. And wait, Survival Hunter up there?
Yeah.
Who's that guy up there?
What this guy?
Yeah.
Beastmaster.
Kind of hunter. Ah. Never mind.
Beastmaster.
All right,
I was
whatever.
gonna say,
Okay,
and
we're
it's
not. We're not. Yeah.
Here with my favorite
All
year.
right, so Scrap, you want to talk about the tuning?
Yeah, I want to talk about the tuning because I think that's what everybody's talking
The
about.
tuning of the dungeons or the people?
No, not the people. Tuning and people looks great. Love it. Looks good.
Great.
Okay. It's great.
Great. It looks
Parse
pretty,
gray.
doesn't it?
Parse
Great.
gray.
No, go to the
There's a
actual
couple of F's in there.
numbers. Yeah, but somebody's got to be F, even if they're all close.
No, we've
No?
had some seasons where they didn't have an F.
Well, I don't know how they.
How do I go to
gauge
previous
that.
seasons or expansions?
You
Whatever,
don't.
Okay.
Look, I can see a need for tweaks, but there's nothing.
Well, it's
egregious on
early.
here.
It's early. Like fucking relax.
Yeah, it's
you know.
it's early. Yeah, fucking relax. We have no idea how the meta's gonna shape up. I mean, we can have a little bit of an idea, but like, people still have their 4 sets, blah blah blah. I want to talk about the difficulty
blah.
tuning compared to other seasons,
Of the dungeons.
compared to the rewards that we
Tuning
get
of what?
of the difficulty
right.
tuning.
It is this season significantly less difficult.
The data supports it 100%.
What do you feel though? What do you feel?
I feel that way too, because normally, like the first week on a good season, we might be able to scrap together 110 between all of us that we can spend 3 hours in to get 1 mythic piece for our vault. Like
we did
that's
that Tuesday
normally
night.
what
That was
happens.
our 1 hour Magisters, right?
But I'm talking on Monday. That's normally
Mm-hmm.
like it takes us all week to scrape that 10 together that we can spend 2 hours running, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've done like fucking 20 10s and 11s and
Yeah, both my alt and my main have 10s in their vault.
Yeah, no, I mean
don't have an
I
alt
have all
yet.
the portals, like it's I'm done. Like it's like okay.
Do you have all the
You're not
portals?
done.
Yeah, I've done all 10s.
Yeah.
I got
but
them all
like
too.
successfully. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
Yes, no,
we were crushing it.
we did keys all night. We didn't miss time a single one.
I've
All we
got
ran
one
was 10s
portal.
and
Frank
11s.
One portal
decided
on
to
Frank,
take a
one
day
portal
off.
on Ariosto.
Let's do for no, we
Oh,
I have all the portals. I
we
have a
get you all
couple
of them, Frank.
11s booked. Like, yeah, no, I'm done. So that's I don't think anybody can argue that this season is not easier.
I
Go
I
on,
don't.
argue.
No, I'm not arguing that it's harder. I'm arguing that I'm arguing that the scaling maybe. I wish there were more rewards the higher IO you got.
I agree with
Because
that.
I feel like this is the season where we can probably scale up quite a bit. Like we can push a little. I
But
feel
it
like we're
doesn't
going to
mean
be able to push so
anything.
much further. It doesn't
But
mean anything because
yeah.
there's no
Well, it
benefit
also doesn't
aside
mean
from having a high
anything.
IO.
Like, let's say we push up to an 18. Whatever. I can say in Shadowlands we pushed up to 22. Like, it's like just the number that we cap out at. 18 is not going to feel impressive like it did last season, right? Because everybody's going to do it because it's easier. So I don't. I've said this before. My thought on pushing score in M+. You know, I get to the point where I feel like I'm overly challenged to the point where I'm uncomfortable, and then I'm done. And some seasons it's a 15, some seasons it's a 22, some seasons it's a 13. It all depends on the tuning. That number doesn't matter. But what I'll agree with you on is that they set the rewards at certain levels, and it's like they've set the final reward as title, which is going to be up in the 20s and beyond. And the next reward, if you're not going to get title, is portals. Or sorry, is
No,
3K,
yeah,
right?
13s.
Came out. Yeah, 13s, right? And if it's so easy to get those, if I'm going to be picking those up next week, what do I have to push for the entire season if title is out of my out of my reach? And it's not even like there's
There's got
I
to be
think
some
an
between.
astronomical gap between 3K and title, like
Yeah,
an obscene gap.
there has to be something between those
Yeah.
things, and that's what's missing.
Well, they
Like,
had originally said that, we would get gear scaling up to 18, where like 18s would drop like 6 out of 6 heroic or something.
yeah,
But
they
like,
cut back on
but
that.
they backed out on that. They said
Now,
no.
Yeah.
I will want to call
Yeah.
out because we covered this in a previous episode, but we didn't know exactly what it meant. I'll bring it back up now.
Yes.
There is allegedly a title for realm best performance in a key. We don't know
That's
if
also
it's
out of my reach.
Yeah.
well, it is on Proudmoore, not for me on Nestlingwary. Thank you very much.
Stupid.
And the idea, again, I think it works kind of like how it did in Mists of Pandaria, where like I guess you can steal the title away from someone else by
But Frank,
beating them.
you've heard this concept of world's smartest horse, right? Like okay,
Is
you
that
could
is
be
that the
world's
tweet
smartest
that
horse.
Ayaski put out?
No, it's like if you're the world's
Oh.
smartest horse, you're a pretty dumb human, right? Like I feel like if you're the best on Nestlingwary, it's like who cares?
All right, now that you've taken your shot at Nestlingwary, let's talk about the actual idea that there is something going
What?
on, though, right?
I feel like you're
Again-
distracting from the issue. Because
No.
that's a high tier reward. That's a reward that's out of the
Sure,
semi-casual
Yes,
person's reach, right?
That's fair. Right.
That's not what I'm
Well,
asking for.
Not semi-casual, like even the hardcore people, it's like out of reach for 99% of them. Because
Yeah.
one person's
I
getting it, the
feel
other
like
99 are gonna fight over it.
I know a ton of hardcore people who don't get title, who are like way fucking better at the game than me, but I collect the same check as they do at the end of the day, right? Like we both have our
Same
3K
check.
mounts, like whatever. Like there should be something for them to lord over my head. I'm looking out for them, not for me, right?
For them, not for you. That's
Yeah.
Right.
impressive.
I mean, we could go on for hours about like what we think that should be. But one, do you think
But
this
you
season?
agree it should be.
I think it'd be more fun. Like it's undeniable that'd be more fun if there was more things to go chase.
More fair, I think. I think just if you're looking
fair, I
at like
mean-
the difference between people who get the portals but can't
Scrap.
get.
If you say fair, the people who can't get 16s done or 18s done or whatever
Well,
done, right?
I'm
We'll
trying
sit there
to
and say it's
visualize-
unfair, right?
No, here's what I'm trying to visualize. I'm trying to visualize a beautiful data graph that I'm sure exists. I'm picturing in my head, and it's showing, the amount of people who get who get the portals, you know, and it's a pretty big chunk. It's like a lot of people that they get it and they're good. And then the people who get 3K, it's actually not going to be that much smaller because I think the difference between that, you know, 10s and 13s won't be that big. And then the people who get title and it's like one little
It's
centimeter.
0.1%.
Yeah, but there could be like a more
0.01.
even spread of rewards to kind of capture to reward players at all kinds of different levels
Yeah.
throughout the season.
I think the logic that they apply is that like they're saying, hey, this is challenging content to get the 13s or 14s or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
You're in the top 5% theoretically.
Yeah.
And that like that's cool. But then like once we start making a reward for the top 2%, top 1%, like we're doing effectively because you know how many rewards they like portals don't count as a reward. It's like one
What
mount.
does a reward?
No, because they don't have to make them, right? It's just there.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
They have to make a mount and they have to make a 3K mount. So they have to make 2 mounts. Maybe
And they make this. Wait, there's no shoulder
I
enchant
know. I was
this
gonna say you're gonna talk
time.
about that, right?
Well, yeah, because I hit 2,500 and I was like, cool. Where do I get my shoulder? Dude, what the fuck? They took out. Wait.
Anyways,
Terrible.
so like they have to make 2 rewards for this season. Now they
Mhm.
have to double that work. I don't know how much work goes into it. I'm not gonna
Color it
argue that.
again. Give me another
Just
color.
give
That's
me
all I
another
want. Another
recolor.
color.
No,
Another
like,
color.
Put some sparkles on it.
For me,
Sparkles.
if it were me, right, I'd make
How about
this
a
really
couch?
cool. Yeah, no, I'd make this
Furniture.
really cool decor thing that is like
Trophy.
incomplete, but you can like every time you get a piece to it, right? You like get to add another, you know, like if it was like some sort of commander, you know, whatever they do in the military where they have like different bars that you get like additional
Yeah,
different sessions.
a trophy or
Yeah,
something. Sash.
like they could do that, but that's not the point. I don't want to talk about that because I really think, and again, I'm looking at your insight. Do you think this season is a blip, and it's not what they're going to do going forward in season 2 and season 3?
It's hard for me to parse whether this is working as intended or an oopsie. Like I don't think we're ever gonna
They'll
kind
never
of
tell
know
us.
that.
They'll
Yeah, they'll
never
never tell us, right? But I think if they want to do this going forward, like they should push the rewards back, like the portals. Maybe the portals should be at the 13 level, and then 3K should be at the 15 level with this current tuning in mind. You know, and then title is going to be somewhere in the 20s, like whatever. But like I would love to see something in between 3K and portals as well. Like
Yeah.
I more rewards is cool, and it can be simple. Like
Stop
I mean,
worrying about
think
the rewards. We all agree with you, Scrap.
yes,
What about
yeah.
this season's
it's-
tuning?
I think if I had to guess, I think it's an oopsie.
Okay.
Like I don't think they expected it to go this hard. And I know Lithian brought up this, was it Lithian who brought up the theory that they took our add-ons away, and so they didn't want to be like, look, now the game's too hard, so they made it way too easy.
Yeah, it's a unintended
Yeah.
consequence of
I think it's
some of the
unintended.
changes they made. But I also think that
I don't think it's about the add-ons though. I think it's about them making the game prepared for the add-on world.
right,
Yeah.
and I think that I think that they're going to take the rest of this expansion to figure out how to write that, right? And I think that you'll start to see some of those dynamics that used to be in the game start to come back a little bit. I also think there's going to be a bunch of changes to add-ons and the way we perceive add-ons and everything else. But you know, I think I I'm excited to see how the rest of this expansion goes. But I think this season's going to be a wash.
Do you think this has anything to do with the fact that there are people now who are like, I'm not gonna say cheat, like who are using add-ons to an effective
we're-
level that was in the place before?
But we're
And-
not using them, and we're having an easy time.
Again, I'll repeat,
So-
I'm not having an easy time, but that's
Okay,
Okay.
present company
I have
accepted.
I have different affixes than you guys do.
I don't use any add-ons or anything, and I haven't not having
No,
a hard time.
but like, would you like? Okay, if you went to try to do a 13 right now, right?
Yeah,
Would you get your ass handed to you?
I would say yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And
But I
there are
don't
people
know.
there are people who are doing 18s or whatever it is right now.
yeah.
And
those
and
sorts are good.
like, do those people have add-ons? And because they made the game easier at the base, those add-ons are even easier now. Because again, no more kicks to have to worry about, you know, quote unquote.
I think that if we're seeing the relative ease without the add-ons, like that didn't even come up to my mind because again, we're timing the keys like with
Yeah,
low
because you're not having
gear,
to worry
no
about
add-ons.
like you're not worrying about how many kicks you have
Well,
to get.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I'm picky.
if I pull all 3 packs before Veximus, what
Yeah.
happens?
Which one's Veximus? Oh, well,
It,
because there's the
Um,
kicks. Yeah, there's kicks in
yeah,
that one. That's
assuming you don't have the high coordination, a surge is probably gonna get off and kill
yeah,
somebody, or a
because people are
novice
focused on the
lecture's
book.
gonna
Yeah.
probably get off and put someone to
yeah,
sleep. And if it's the healer, it's pretty much game
but
over.
those people who are doing the 18s, they have to be pulling all 3 packs. Like
Yeah, of course
there's
they are.
because
Yeah.
they're cooking, but they're also like they're probably just waylaying those packs or figuring out they're coordinating their kicks. And
Yeah.
so I do think that there's once you start to hit a certain point, I do think that there's a level of difficulty that you can't overcome by just the ease of the game as it exists today. Like those people that are doing 18s right now, that's wild, man.
I,
Because
yeah.
one cast is going to kill you as a
When I was
DPS.
What?
arguing about this with uh casual sock and absolute a little bit, we're just kicking this around like, what's going on, why is it so much easier? And casual is bringing it repeatedly. He's like, well, I think the dungeons are easier, like we don't have to kick as much, we don't have to do as much. And I'm like, I think that's a factor, but you can't argue with the numbers of 90% of people
No,
are doing
you
this
can't.
stuff, that there's a numerical tuning
What
issue.
I don't understand though is when we were in beta, they didn't feel this easy. Do you guys agree?
Mm,
They felt about the same.
they
Really?
felt pretty easy.
Why didn't you
Yeah,
give
Well,
feedback, Io? You
I
ruined the
mean,
season.
what do you mean? I never got prompted to ask.
Okay.
But no, I
somebody,
mean,
oh, go ahead.
I timed 15s on the beta. They were just like, it just depended on the group. Like if I had like a good group, it was easy. If I didn't, it wasn't. It just
Well,
depends.
we were
So
also
Frank's
maxed out.
experiencing.
Well, yeah,
We
we
were
were
maxed
also
out in
maxed out
gear,
too. Yeah, that's true. So
but
that's
I
probably
mean
why they felt easy.
But 15s
yeah,
weren't easy maxed out season 3.
Yeah,
Like
they were.
but
they weren't easy.
No, sorry, I don't want to say they were easy. They were puggable, and that to me is like a sign
They were
that this is
puggable, but I wouldn't say they were easy. No,
yeah,
they were
they
they
weren't
were
easy. You still had to
like,
play
yeah.
perfect, right? But
No, I don't think you had to play perfect. I mean, you
In a
couldn't
you had to
wipe.
play
15,
You
really
couldn't wipe.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't wipe. You couldn't make a
But
mistake.
Yeah.
I ask you, is it true or false that the people who are doing 15s on the beta are probably some gamers, right?
I mean, anyone can do a 15 on the beta, so it
No,
doesn't
but
really.
but
It
would
depends on who's on there.
would Stoop load up the beta and go, I'm gonna put in a 15?
Stoop
I would
timed
hope not.
11 before you did, Frank. So
Oh boy. Here we
Okay, would
go.
Frank
Here we
log into the
go.
beta and do a 15?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't, right? We were trying to record
But
videos for the Keystone
Yeah.
Kindergarten, and we were doing 12s, right? And granted, with recording, I was kind of focusing on some other things. But like Skyreach. Now, granted, I know they nerfed some things, so that's definitely part of it too, right? But when we did a 12 Skyreach, it was like, holy fuck, this is going to be a pug killer. I even tweeted that, right? And now Skyreach is easy as shit.
yeah. It was Skyreach was weirdly tuned in the beta, I think. But I heard somebody say because there was so much time in front of the release of M plus, like we had that extra time to do all the zeros and get really decked out in champion gear.
Mm.
They believe that's what made the beginning of
Yeah.
Gearing
this
part?
Mythic Plus easier,
That's
right?
what I think.
That's
Yeah.
possible because we're already halfway geared. So
Yeah,
that
and not
does
only
make
that,
sense to me.
you had the heroic raid last week too, with the
Frank
chance to
says
get
no.
heroic from Delve.
He's shaking his head
So
no.
there's definitely people
How is
who have,
an expansion launch where we have to fight for gear from the bottom of the barrel better than the War Within Season 2, where most people who are going into it are going in with best in slot items from the previous season, and they're only upgrading 30 item levels.
I'm just telling
Where
you
we
that
are right now, we are still 40, maybe 30 item levels, 35 items levels away. Where we are
Mhm.
right now, right? We don't
Yeah,
go
wait,
into
it
a new
was a-
season
on.
like that. Expansions
it
are
was a
always a
theory.
wider gap. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying.
was a theory I heard from like a Touchpad Warrior on one of his TikToks or something.
No, that's what
And
I think.
I mean, again, War Within Season 1 is an outlier because of how it was tuned, but we had that same week for the War Within Season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you didn't, because you weren't the M0s dropped veteran, they didn't drop champion in the daily ones.
Okay, I don't know
Yeah,
from that, but
It's different.
yeah, I
but
think
the
it was a little
numbers
different.
might be different. But like eye level was the same
But
effectively.
So I think that's a factor, and I don't. But I think another factor too is that I think the way they do the damage, especially for the healers, I think a lot of these
Yes,
dungeons,
yes.
especially at this lower level, it really just depends on how good your healer is. Because realistically, I mean,
Right.
Yeah, that's why
anything,
again, why is Frank having a problem?
anything I've
I'm
Why are
having a
we
problem with
having a
Frank too.
problem?
Don't. No, it's not just me. It's
when
Frank.
like hearing like Scrap like talk about how easy she thinks the season is, I'm just kind of like scoffing because I'm like, maybe it feels easy to you, but I mean, I feel like I've been playing really well, and
I'm
I feel like a
talking
lot of
about
keys I've been doing. And hold on,
yeah.
I've
Go
been
on.
feeling like a lot of keys I've been doing. It's been like, okay, like people don't see the little things of like what, like
Yes,
how well you
yes,
prepare for damage, or like
yes.
if you save somebody, people don't always notice. But also, people are pumping too. People are playing really well, so I don't know. Is it easier because it's tuned bad, or are people just playing really well? But also, like Lithian said, are we just at a point where you can get to a certain level by just brute forcing it, but then once you get to like the 15s, do you need to start being conscious about, okay, if we're going to pull these 3 packs, we actually need to stop all the casts, because we like when we go into it, we usually will pull like 2 and then pull the third one. But I mean, if we were to pull all of them, there ain't no way we're gonna be able to coordinate that, just because we just aren't as coordinated as they are. And plus they're playing like meta, right? So you have Og and Brew, and you have a bunch of CCs to kind of help you with that. So I think it's probably I think to say it's easy is a bit generous. I think maybe the lower end getting up there, and it's tough for me to say that because the numbers do back up it being easier. But
Yeah.
I think it's just a different style of play that we're just not used
What
to.
is this graph I'm looking at?
Because people aren't getting one shot, right? Like,
No.
I mean,
But
I think that's a very
I
good
mean,
call out.
when I say something is
Holy shit.
like there's ease to it, I mean we can wipe like 2 times. We could have 15 to 20 deaths and still time it. Like
well, yeah, that's the thing
we're
too. Is
not
you can
playing
also
great. Like you say,
plus.
like, oh, we're playing good. It's like no, there's mistakes being made
Well,
throughout the
that's
Hold on a
season,
second.
still
When you say
timing it.
we, you mean you, right?
I'm saying the group as a whole, and I won't call anybody out specifically, but if we're timing a key with 15 deaths, it's not because we're playing super well. It's because there's
How many keys have you
wiggle
done
room.
15 deaths in?
Yeah. I
Like pretty
don't-
much everyone. Maybe
No.
not the ones we did with you, but
We're
like
not-
let's
it's
like
not-
when I'm coming the one that Lithia and I pugged like right before we did it, like we had a full wipe on a boss when the boss had like 1% health. And we had to do the boss completely over again. We did the
Oh,
final
the one where the
boss.
healer
We had to
died.
go all the way back and do extra trash, and we would have plus 2'd it like if it had been
Scrap
for that.
typed out, "Why me dying?"
Why me die? Did I? Because I was why me die?
Well, let me
I-
ask you this: at what level should one wipe be the end of the key?
That's
Well,
where I
people are still
that's
treating
the
it in
level-
tens. I
that's-
had a sky reach where they
No,
wiped
I
on
did
a
too.
repel, and they abandoned a meeting. I'm like, motherfuckers, we had like all the time in the world. What are you
I
talking
had the same
about?
experience in a sky reach, which was listed as relaxed.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
everybody got thrown off in the rappel except me because I ran back on in the tank, and immediately the abandoned vote went off.
See,
and
I
everybody
was-
was like, dude, what the fuck? And whoever was doing the abandoned vote, who at the end the monk confessed it was him, like he did it every
Oh
5
my
minutes
goodness.
on the 5 minutes through the entire key, and we timed it. And we were
Yeah,
like, dude, what's
I was
wrong with
kind
you?
of curious for those of you who are pugging, like how has the relaxed and competitive and learning like
This
how's
means
that
nothing.
been?
It means nothing.
It means
It means
nothing.
nothing. No, I've only gone into relaxed keys. I've set my filter relaxed only, and those are the only keys I've pugged into. And that's the only outlier, honestly. All of the other ones have been relaxed. That one and everybody else in the key was like, "Fuck this guy. What's wrong
Nope.
with you?" Like it's supposed to be
Nothing has been
relaxed.
relaxed. And we had one like who I was doing a 10 today on Frankenberry, and it was listed as or competitive. It was listed as competitive, and we had wiped twice before the first boss, and it was the tank was pulling like 2 mobs at a time, right? And
Yeah.
the second he pulled 3, he died. Okay, whatever. Like it's
Oh,
and he was brewmaster too. And then we get to the like no one's kicking except for me, of course, and that's the big problem I'm noticing with like why I'm failing. And then they're like, oh no, we're just gonna do it for completion. And I'm like, well, why didn't what you put it and I just couldn't like fathom like what the hell's going
Maybe
on?
they're
I don't mind it being
dyslexic
a
and they
completion.
thought
Yeah, maybe
it was completion.
I don't
instead of
mind that,
Completion,
right? But like,
competitive.
I was immediately like, what the hell is going on in here?
I don't know why there's not a completion tag. Also, they have
There
a
is.
offered
That's
carry
relaxed.
tag.
No,
No, there's
they-
not
relaxed or
one.
learning.
So, there's
not a
something.
completion.
There's
There's
something. Oh,
learning.
maybe people
Yeah.
are just putting it in there the bio. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, there it's learning, competitive, relaxed, and carry
Carry offered,
offered.
yep.
I will
Which
say I
I've never
did
seen carry offered.
I have.
It's like
I did
Yeah.
have one where it said learning, and as we were going through it, there was a point where the tank stopped, and like it took a few seconds, and I'm like, "What is he doing?" And then I'm like, "Oh
He's
wait, he's probably looking
learning.
at his route because he's learning." Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Bro, he's learning.
He's
That makes sense.
learning.
But I want to get back to what you said before we got on a tangent. Where you said, at what level, like, do you want the difficulty to be at? I don't have a
Scrap
problem
wants
wherever,
it too.
like, where I start to feel the push is where you can't make any mistakes or you don't time it, and that means if a single death could compromise the timing of the key, and that's where I start to get a little uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit because I don't want to be that one guy, right? I don't care where it is exactly. It's fine if it's at 18. It's fine if it's at 12, like it was in season 1 of War Within. Um, however, it shines a light on the reward discrepancy, which is kind of
So do
the thing I'm gonna
you
keep coming back
not
to.
like that it's easy, or do you just not like that
Can
the
we-
rewards
Can
discrepancy?
we
Like,
hold
I
on?
don't like
Time
no,
out.
I don't
Time out.
mind. I don't mind that it's easy at all. I
Let's
just
raise our
think
hands.
it's
Do
unsatisfying to
you
have
agree
finished
with
all
Scrap
the
and her
portals.
rewards?
I don't know. I mean, I
Nobody-
haven't really thought
nobody-
about it.
There. So let's keep
So-
arguing about
Scrap's
it.
not even raising her hand, so yeah,
well,
of
I
course
didn't know
we
I
do.
had to raise it.
Lithium, didn't you agree
Rewards-
with her?
Rewards, yeah, I agree with the rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
What
got
are you
my
talking about?
I got my portals.
But
I'm
that's
pretty
so
pumped.
that's
And
my
then
only
I'll get 3K in a
problem.
couple weeks. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
don't
done.
have a problem with
Not a big
the
deal.
Weeks, you'll have it
difficulty
next week.
being low. You know, like I think
maybe.
that's fine. It's just kind of like I don't have anything to push towards if I already have the portals in like
Right,
4
okay.
days.
Well,
What-
then
Dude,
go
I-
back to building a
That's the
zoo.
problem. That's the only problem I have with the tuning. So that's it. That's
I'm,
all I have.
what
all
am
I
I,
have.
2200 or something, and I have 1 key with no score.
Yeah.
I think I have 2 keys with no score or something. I don't know.
It's a silly, funny sort of
I'm
coffee
wondering
talk thing, but it doesn't actually
funny.
bother me except
If
for the reward discrepancy.
they keep going at the way they're going, I wonder if at some point they'll switch from a number rating system to like a league system,
Yeah.
like a silver, bronze, gold thing where you just get rewards based on how high you pushed that way.
I like that.
And then you could have your title, or like it would be like your challenger in League of Legends, where these are like the like, and it would just, I guess they'd be like a certain key range each or whatever. But I wonder
No,
if
it's just like top 5%, top 2% or whatever. and then
Yeah.
there's like
Diamond
plat-
3,
yeah.
like yeah.
yeah,
It's
and
not
then
gonna be
we can
me.
put Scrap and Bronze where she belongs.
Yeah, you
Right.
wish. But
gotta-
yeah, I don't know what would the other problem. What is the problem people would have with it? Okay, well here, hold on. Actually, I just thought of something. This is a
Uh-oh.
problem for Blizzard because
well, it's definitely
if
a problem for
people-
Blizzard.
well, yeah, well, I mean, it's going to affect their bottom line. Maybe I don't know how many people are subbing just for Mythic Plus. I'm surrounded by a lot of people, but I don't know if that's a common thing. But if you're
Well,
kind
raid
of
is easy too.
tapped, if you're kind of capped out, if you're finished AOTC in 3 weeks and you push, you get 3K in 3 weeks and you're like, I'm not gonna get a title. I'm gonna unsub until the next thing. I mean, honestly, when I got all the portals, I was like, dude, I'm chilling this season. Like, I will still be subbed
You
for the
say
trading
that
post.
every season.
No, but this
Yeah, I
season I
know.
mean it because like
Yeah, and I'm gonna get some
whatever.
sleep.
Push to
But-
3K. It does not as big of a gloating rights if I'm 50 points ahead of you, right? And it takes so much more pushing to get 50 points ahead of somebody at a certain level. Like that's like could take me like 30 hours to get 50 extra points on you at a certain level. Like, but I love parading around that 3K mount before you like but that's gonna be over next
so-
week.
You usually
just-
get it like half a day earlier. What are
Yeah.
you talking
Sometimes
about?
I remember doing a key where we were both in a 3K scoring key
Yes.
and I beat
Yeah, because you play till 6 a.m. and I don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
But,
yeah, because I want it
And
more.
pugging
you
at that
know?
time is way better than it when I pug.
I just want it more. I think I just
But
want it
Scrap,
more.
for context, I
Right.
think Mythic Plus is one dimension of the game, and I think the
And
majority,
raid's another big chunk, and if both
yeah,
those things are easy,
there's
it's a
people
problem.
who love Mythic Plus, there's people who love Raid, there's people who love both, but the majority of the people are probably the casual population who enjoys the world content, the dungeon content, and just running through the game and playing with their friends, right? Like, I enjoy the camaraderie that we have. I enjoy the
Yeah.
people, and that's why I keep playing. It isn't. I'm not going to cancel my sub once I get AOTC and all my portals like you are, but I'm going to.
No, I'm
She's
not.
not-
I'm
she's
not.
not
It's like
canceling
trading
her
posts.
subs,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's trading posts. There's always
Yeah.
there's content on the horizon all the time.
We'll have a
and
new
they're
raid
putting
in
out-
11 point.
But
or 12.1
Right.
or
Yeah.
They're
05 or
putting out
whatever.
their roadmaps and they're giving people something to look forward to,
But
and that's what keeps people subbed.
let me just put a prediction on something that's measurable. You know, there's always fall off
Measurable.
from the amount of keys being run that we
Yes.
can look at.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
at certain weeks,
People are
it
definitely dropping their
starts
subs
to,
after they hit certain points.
yeah, it
Yeah.
starts to steeply
There's a
decline.
population that drops.
And I'm gonna predict that the fall off is gonna happen quicker this season
believe it.
because
Uh,
people are gonna hit that 3K and then they're done. Like
well, I
people aren't
guess
gonna push to
it,
3,200 for no reason. Like
if you
I will
want to,
because
if you
I
want
like to push as far
to,
as I can go.
if you want to put a pin in that and then
I'm putting a pin right now.
check the data.
Put a pin in it. I want to see the data comparison and see if like at the end of in a month from now, are the pugs completely vacant? Like people are done. People aren't pushing past 3K, you know?
I'm still
What
gonna be
do
playing.
you want to set the bar for it though? Is it like at 10s? Is it at the pushing keys into 20s?
Um, No, I want to see
You just wanna
amount, like how
compare-
many keys are run
He
at
wants to
week
compare
6,
season
at week
season
8.
over season.
Past
you
like
know?
10 to
No,
13,
I get
12 to
that, but
13.
what I'm saying is, remember last time we did this, we were looking at like people were saying no one was running high keys, but it was actually the opposite. People were running high keys.
I'm
But
saying
at the 10s
across
and 11s and 12s, it had like fallen apart.
Yeah, I'm picturing across the board
Okay.
amount.
Across
So
the
just
board.
Oh, yeah,
overall
'cause-
overall runs,
well-
full stop.
Overall
Well-
retention, like
Well,
let's
let's
say
not
that.
forget too that since you brought that up, Frank, that actually reminded me. I mean, with Brazil keys, like people might just push anyways, just
Yeah.
because he can't get lower than a certain level, so they might just be like, all right, whatever, we got a 16, let's just try it. Who cares? Like,
We can
Yeah.
compare that with the entirety of War Within because Brazil keys were in effect. So
well,
like
I
we
will
have
let you
something
know,
to compare it
Scrap, that
to.
this season, this first week, is on pace to be the most popular M+ season ever.
Yeah, because people can knock out all their goals in 1 week as opposed to the other weeks.
I don't.
but also too, I mean, if you have like alts and stuff too, it's nice to be able to get them into
Get the
10s
vault.
easier too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for them. So
No, I believe it. I'm expecting a very high play rate the first like 3 weeks and then a much steeper drop off. I want to look at week 5, week 7, week 9, week 12. I just said some arbitrary numbers. I don't even know if the season goes that long. These are the weeks
I think
that I want to look at.
I think it's a combination of the healing not being so brutal, or like the survivability not being so brutal, right? That like things will not one shot you as frequently or as
Mhm.
often.
Right.
The fact that there are less casts that will do that as well, that will like not pick off someone constantly. Because how many keys were like abandoned or failed because like one person just kept getting sniped throughout the
Right.
whole dungeon, which is not necessarily the case, at least at the key levels we're seeing. And then on top of that, just like, yes, there was probably an add-on like curve, but I don't think that's it. I think that maybe like
No.
that might be of the whole thing a 10% of the problem. The other 90% is this combination of how they changed healing, how they changed interrupts and stops and all that, and by that, things are just getting
Can I put a picture in your head to get another data
If you say rewards, I'm gonna scream.
visual? No. Like a pie chart, let's say, that shows, and the title of the pie chart is "Why is Mythic Plus easier this season?"
Yes, yeah, okay.
And there's gonna be a little slice for healing changes, a little slice for the interrupts.
What is
a
the
little-
slice? 25%, 10%?
No, let's give each of those 10%.
Okay.
Like 10% for healing changes, 10% for dungeons are easy, 10% for
Right.
add-ons, and then 70% numerical tuning. I think
let's
it's
compare it for a
mostly that.
second. Let's
What?
think about it this way.
Go ahead.
Let's take the first poll in Priory of the Sacred Flame, that right side poll with the
Mhm.
with the one mini boss and the one guy
That's
that
a
does the
hard
shout
pull, man.
to the stairs. And let's look at everything that can just kill people there. You got the pot shots going off that do a lot of damage. You got the traps people could potentially walk into. Which
Four
puts
from
the
each
bleed on
mob,
them.
3 of 4 of
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
in the poll.
4 from each mob.
Yep.
You have the
Shout.
AoE shout from the mini boss, as well as AoE from the other guy. And then also, what was the other mechanic he did that you had? Was there an interrupt or something, or was it just 2 shouts?
There
that
was
did, like, a
an
lot of damage
interrupt.
or
There was an
something?
interrupt shout from the knight, and then there was a shout or a
But-
stomp from
I
the
get it.
mini
I get
boss,
the
right?
point. I get the point. That's a
Compare
really hard
that
pull.
to the first poll. We wouldn't say the first poll, Magister's Terrace, because that's just the big guy with like the 4 little guys. Compare
Yeah.
that to the second poll that you're gonna lust with like the 4 casters, which is they'll each cast Hex every so often, and you have to kick that. And
Their
that's pretty
damaging
much it.
spell is an
the
insta
thing-
cast, so you just have to
so-
dispel.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Slow down. yes, these new dungeons are easier. However, Algathar Academy is in rotation. They didn't make that many changes to it. Algathar
They did make
Academy,
a lot of
when it was
changes to Algathar Academy.
uh, they
I'm
did,
challenging. I'm
but
challenging that.
not. But there's still a lot of
Almost every
casts.
single
In
mob has had a change to
Algathar
it.
Academy, there's literally, I think, what you have. There's the leaves, the trees don't do anything. You have to kick the cast on the mini boss for the. I'm
That
sorry, not the
wasn't
mini boss
different
for
in
the trees. The
Dragonflight.
trees boss, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't have to kick the thing on the way to Kraith. You don't have to kick those birds in Kraith at all.
Those
You go to
have
the other
casts
side. You have
in
to kick this.
original.
Then you just have to kick the surges on like the next couple trash
kicks-
packs. Then
the
you have to
kicks
kick
were
the surges
similar.
and the monotonous.
Yeah.
And then you don't even need to worry about the bolts on the other side.
Let's just talk about the
But what
first
I'm saying,
pull.
There's
trying
like
to
4
say, what I'm
kicks in
trying
that
to
whole
finish
dungeon.
is that wasn't considered a particularly easy dungeon in Dragonflight, or a particularly
Yeah, I think-
hard
Farmable
one.
dungeon in
Yeah.
Dragonflight. That was the easy one.
Yeah.
It was. I feel like it was kind of easy, but it wasn't it wasn't like significantly easier. It wasn't like, holy shit, this one is fucking Shadow Moon Burial Ground or whatever. Like,
Okay.
I'm just saying it was
It wasn't
at
the
pace.
extreme.
It was in pace with the difficulty of the time. And people are saying these dungeons are so much easier. But then Algathar is not being held as like, oh my god, that one's so clearly so much harder. I recognize, yeah, the dungeons are easier, but I don't think it's a big piece of the pie. I think we have smaller toolkits to deal with less stuff, and so we have less stuff to deal with. Like, you're right, yeah, that pull of Priory of Sacred Flame is way crazy, but I think the numerical tuning is
Algathar is the easiest dungeon this
piece
season.
of the pie. That's what I'm saying, and that's the old dungeon. If people are saying the new dungeons are designed to be super easy, and Algathar is largely
Actually,
the same.
No, they're all
Well,
they're
I
rough. They're
think
close. They're close.
I think Seat is a really hard dungeon, because of all the
See, it's just pulsing AoE constantly.
all the healing.
Well, again, that's
that you gotta
numerical
do.
issue, numerical tuning, not dungeon design difficulty.
What?
No, scrap.
You're
Like,
saying there's
what-
pulsing AoE the whole time. It's not because
look at the
mechanics
first
are hard.
pull. Look at the first pull of Algathar, right?
Mhm.
That was a pull that only is really threatening the tank if the people move out of the swirls, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, that's one of those examples where if there's not much mechanical things to go through, it was available. It was pretty much the same way in Dragonflight. I think there was like a sting that would happen on other like random players.
Yeah, there's a
from-
poison.
right? So
Yep.
like that's gone now, and that is only dictated by the tank's success, right? So the
Yeah.
heal and the tank working together to make sure they don't die. And then you look at the one that's before Veximus, right? In Dragonflight, that was an easy pull, right? Yes, there was a chance the monotonous would go off. Yes, there was a
Yeah.
chance that like some other cast would go off. But like, you know, you could usually break out of the monotonous, or you just focused it and there was 4 people that could stun it, kick it on all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And
There's
that's
a lot of
not the case
stuns and
anymore.
stuff.
Now people are still trying to pull them together, and yeah, some people are like getting away with it because they, again, coordination can work.
We're
Yeah.
not.
But even like on a 12, right? Like we would do that pull together on a 12. If we do it now, and as Aski pointed out, the surges go off as well as the monotonous lectures. It's like close to game
We
over
don't-
at that point, right?
We don't have all the stops that we had. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But my point is that that Casual brought this up before too, is that like, oh, dungeons are significantly easier than they were in War Within. It's like, okay, there's less stuff for us to manage because we don't have as much management tools. But I don't think they feel significantly easier in their design.
I think
like-
easier is subjective to like what does he play?
No, I mean,
He
it's the
tanks
data,
DK?
the
Yeah, he's
data
a
is
DPS.
unequivocally
And the data
true.
is irrefutable.
yeah,
I do
like,
think
it's-
it's easy. I just don't
it's
think
easier.
your pie chart's correct.
Yeah, that's the point I
Okay,
was making.
Right.
Well,
do
is that
you-
your pie chat
maybe
is way off.
50% is too much, but you got to give it at least 50% numerical tuning.
Well, that I think the numerical tuning is a part of it because again, going from beta to this felt
gotta say
different
it's
for
the
me. I ask you
largest part of
disagrees,
it.
but no, I don't think
You
it's the
don't-
largest part.
Well, I mean,
What do you
it
think's the
might.
largest part?
They're definitely.
Are
like,
you-
these Skyrim
hold on.
especially, they're definitely easier than they were
Are
on
you
beta for sure.
saying? Are you saying numerical tuning is not mechanical? Like, what do you?
No, I'm just
What's
saying
the-
that like the timers are cushy and the DPS needed to clear these keys at our gear level is like the damage threshold we need to meet is low. for our gear
'Cause
level
it took
because
us
we're
it took
slamming
us an
it.
hour to do Magister's Terror Scrap. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Well, it took
I
you an hour. Me and Lithian
Oh.
did an 11 in
Oh,
time.
took
So,
me.
but with you, it somehow took an hour and 10 minutes. I
Well,
think.
but that case in point, I
Yep.
do think that there's a lot of healing mechanics that are a lot harder for them to deal with, depending on,
I ask you, I don't know
depending
if you
on.
agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Well, you're
I don't
saying
know. I
that
don't heal that much.
it's harder mechanically.
I
Then
think
that would give more like credence to numerical tuning, making it easier if the design
No,
is
scrap.
harder.
I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying it's
What are
not
we
as big of
arguing
the
about?
pizza. You're trying to say it was 90% of the pizza.
No, I said 70%. I said
70%, whatever.
which is totally reasonable.
No, that's not reasonable at all.
What do you think?
You're
What
saying it's a
percentage would you
factor
put
of
it at?
6 to everything else.
Frank, I want you to
I ask you, do
reevaluate
you
this next week
believe-
when you have some 11s under your belt.
I'm not going to
Okay.
be able to do.
I have
I'm
11s
not
on the
gonna be able-
belt. Thank you, Scrap.
I'm not going to be able to do percentages, but here's what I think is a factor in it. I do think
Yeah.
we're in champion and some hero gear,
Mhm.
which I think if you're in champion hero gear, like yeah, 10s and should probably be doable. I think that a lot of challenge in the dungeons is thrust on the healers because there is a lot more healer specific mechanics, and they're not particularly challenging in terms of depending on how good the healer is at these levels. And I mean they can be for sure, like for especially if you're more inexperienced. So I think it's mostly can your healer heal it in a lot of these situations, which case can be a higher level of success because it doesn't really matter what your DPS are doing, they're just blasting. And
It does
I
matter
do
what a
think
DPS doing because they're not blasting.
I
But anyways, yeah.
do think that the dungeons are easier in terms of mechanical complexity, but I think that's by design because
Yeah.
the game it's as a whole is
Right.
that's
We
the
have less tools.
philosophy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have a fourth one. It might just be those three things I think really factored into it.
All right. Well, we are at the 2-hour mark plus, so we gotta put a wrap
What?
on this. Yep. I know.
In
we
the
gotta stop
comments,
already.
guys, tell us your experience, what your pie chart looks like, and
Yeah.
why I'm right.
Why you think the
Why
dungeons are
you're
easier, or
right.
if they've been hard, why you think they're hard,
All right. Can
Well-
I end with some tips for people or some nice little things that
Yeah,
have
go
come
for it.
out? Okay. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
give this first one to
sure.
Lithian, okay? So
Oh, good.
Lithian,
a tip for Lithian.
No, Lithian's been talking about his routes. I want to show him some tools that Radar.io just launched. So this is at radar.io. They have a new advanced search feature, okay? I thought this was insanely cool. It was hard to find, but it's down here for sure, down here in the bottom. And what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to effectively narrow down Mythic Plus runs that have certain attributes that you're looking for. So for example, if Lithian wants to make sure that it is, let's say, plus 10s only, and that the roster has a Brewmaster Monk, right? And he'll start narrowing things down. And let's say he also wants to make sure it has a replay so he can watch it. What you'll start seeing is that they'll have, wait, oh, there we go, okay. So like, here's an example where it'll have the routes tied to it, and you can watch the video and it'll show you the route in real time as they're going so that you can start learning how to Brewmaster tank better, right?
Yeah,
Like, hey,
I've
this
seen
route, this blah, 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 right? So I just want to call this out because like Radar.io has been killing it. They've got some really cool features. We use them a lot, obviously, from the data points. I saw this and I thought this was insanely cool, especially the fact that it'll update in real time as far as I know, like showing you the pulls and stuff. But you again, if you were like, hey, I'm an arcane mage and I want to do better, you can see, in this dungeon, where are they using certain spells, and again, like really fine tune your craft within it. So I wanted to call that out because Lithian has been talking about his routes, and here's a good way you can start looking at those routes, Lithian. The other thing I want to call out, this is more for me, and I'm hoping you guys see it. There's an add-on called Keystone Loot. So if you're like me and you're like, oh, which dungeon do I really want to focus on to get the loot? You can go into this add-on and like favorite certain loot that you're like trying to hunt down, and it'll show you which dungeon has the most loot for you, like to be beneficial. So
That's
that you
pretty
can
cool.
start, like, oh, this I don't need to do my Sarah Caverns anymore. I should just be focusing on Skyreach until I get these 3 things I really want. Especially as the dinar system, whatever the what is that thing they're building?
Bonus rolls or
The
whatever.
bonus rolls. Like you'll be like, oh cool, I'll make sure I save my bonus rolls for this because I got 3 out of the 7 items that I want. So that add-on again is called Keystone Loot. Really, that I'm gonna download here in a second. This is where add-ons are awesome. Made with love in Germany, by the way.
Mm.
other than that, I'll quickly call this out because I've been saving it. This is a really cool thing, Scrap. I want you to practice the raid. It's called Vellum. I guess it was made with what was the game that it was based off of? They made it like out of another game. I can't see here real quick.
This looks
And
like homework.
What it is.
No.
What it is
I mean,
it's a game inside Steam, and they just built the raid bosses for you to practice. So it's like I think they said study hall.
pretty cool.
It'll show you all of
Cute.
it. Yeah, real cute. Right, free to play.
Big ol' hen.
Right, here's your boss tomorrow, Scrap. So or Tuesday. So you got to start practicing now. There you go. That's what it's gonna look like. So yeah,
That also looks sweet.
really cool things people are out there making. Shout out to all those people that made these things. And Radio RO, thank you again for giving us really cool tools. That said, let's put a wrap on today. Lithian, any last words?
take a break every once in a while and get some sleep.
Yes, get some
So you don't die early like Frank.
Oh boy.
That's all I got.
He hasn't died
Jeez
yet,
Louise.
so.
Well, you know, we're shortening his lifespan.
I'm curious
every
to
dollar.
see what my effect of getting sleep is. Okay, so just so everyone knows, I'm trying to force myself, and I've said this before, I've never done it, so I need to really be on it. For April, I'm gonna set a bedtime of 11:30. Right? If I'm not in a key going,
What about post raid key?
I got Scrap. I got it. Well,
Gone.
sorry, I did have an asterisk for the podcast because I knew this always runs late, right? So
Yeah.
I'll, like
Yeah.
on the podcast. And if I'm getting good sleep on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday or whatever, then I'm going to allow myself one key after raid. But again, we'll not the point. I feel
think
like
you
my
can have
toxiness.
Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, you stay up really late, and then
Not
the
really
other
late.
days
No,
you
no,
go to
not really
bed.
late. Not really late.
Really late.
Anyways,
See,
point
Yeah,
is,
miss out.
we went on vacation and I was getting like a ton of sleep and I was like in a much better mood. And now like as soon as I come home and I start playing the new season, I'm like not doing that great anymore, and I'm yelling at you guys all the time.
Toxic jar's getting full.
Yeah. And I'm like, this has got to be correlated, and obviously I'm worried about my health of just like not getting any sleep in the first place. Will I die at the age of 58? So yeah, Lithy and I fully support
58's
that.
a good run.
I'm looking out for you, Frank. I'm looking out for you.
Yep.
Yeah, 58 I think is admirable. Like
Oh.
it's a good run. Yeah.
Well, Scrap only says that because she's not planning on retirement, so she's like, I got to be done
Yeah,
before.
dude, I'm praying for 58. That sounds really awesome.
All right,
Oh
Scrap
my
Claw, any last words?
Nope. I'm good. I said everything I need to say.
Nope,
Uh,
I'm good.
Rewards,
That's great.
Arioski.
Yep. Nothing outside of the game. Just tell us any cool stories that happened the first season, or the first week of the first season in the comments.
We
or,
really
the first
appreciate
week of
y'all in
Mythic
the
Plus, rather.
comments.
Yeah. Let us know what you think about Scrap's reward, and yeah, like Frank said, or Lithian or whoever, what your pie chart is, and what it looks like, and if
And
you
look-
think Mythic Plus is easy or not.
I want to get ahead of people who are come in comments to say, no, it's been really, really hard. It's like, okay, it's been hard for you, but the data, you can't argue with the data. It has been easier.
Wow.
That's
you're
a
just
fact.
you're just
Like-
eliminating
been
that,
hard
that
for you,
population.
But it's a you problem. It's not an issue.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
an
saying
issue.
we have the data, so
You're
you
just
can tell us
saying-
how it's
you're
been
just
hard.
saying they're bad.
No, I'm not saying you're bad. I'm just saying I don't want
mean,
people using
that's
anecdotal
not-
evidence. I'm a data person
Scrap,
through and
this
through
is-
now. Like
this is a
me.
podcast. This is a podcast for
Scrap
everyone.
pretending to be a data person all of a sudden. Holy
No,
cow.
I'm yeah. When it agrees with what I think.
Pin this
I love
moment
it.
when the second the data disagrees with her, she throws
Well,
it
then I'm
out
gonna be
the
like,
window.
I don't know if that's right. Like,
Wow.
but yeah,
Alright.
give us tell us your pie chart. I'm curious if I feel off base because this is not a measurable thing, but I just feel like my pie chart is correct.
Ioski, I don't know if
We're
that
past-
was that your last words and she just took
Yeah,
over?
that's all. That's
I wanted to.
all
I
had.
decided I wanted my last words.
Yeah.
In his words.
This is why you get those comments, Scrap. Last
Whatever,
words. I'm not going to say
ignore it.
anything else about WoW. I hope I have a better time. I'm just I'm not enjoying it as much, but Scrap seems to think it's because I'm just terrible.
Next week, Frank quits WoW too.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get more money in the toxic jar.
I saw Project Hail Mary. It was great. If you don't really care about science not making sense, but
I need to go see it.
It was
I need to go
great.
see
Yeah,
it.
someone
good
was
fun.
describing that movie to me, and I'm just like, at first I was like, oh, it kind of sounds like Interstellar, and then I'm like, that just sounds like
They-
wonky as hell, dude.
they had an interstellar like little like moment where they the scene in Interstellar where he's trying to like use the force to catch up with the space station that broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene like that in that.
Oh jeez.
No, I mean, like that's fine. It was funny, and Ryan Gosling's charming as shit in it. It's just that like there are some points where it's like, that didn't he say he's gonna like die if this happens, and it didn't happen, and I don't know. It just doesn't matter. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I recommend go seeing it. Super Mario 2 comes out next week. I gotta take my kids. We'll see how good
You
that
know
is.
what I saw a trailer for that I really want to see? Is the Sheep Detectives. Have you seen
with
that trailer?
with Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman and
Yeah.
Emma Thompson.
Yeah. Well, there's a ton of
I
people.
don't know
in
who.
the movie.
Yeah, I don't know who the voice actors are, but that's
Yeah.
just who I saw in the trailer. And I saw that, I was like, that movie
I think
is
that already came
for
out.
me. No, it's coming out in May.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's coming out on Mother's Day.
We got 2 hours, 14, 15, whatever minutes. So let's call it there. Everyone, please enjoy your
Great.
keys. Please have a better time in them than I'm having. And I'm sure you're much better of a player than I am. I guess I'm just shit now, but I'll catch up.
Oh no.
We'll catch up next week to report
Sad.
more. And we'll have the new raid to talk about and more Race to World First drama if there is any. Maybe it'll be a 400 pull boss. But until then, keep watching, keep liking and subscribing, keep commenting. We love you for it. Road to BlizzCon. We're, I guess, 21 weeks away because that's how many episodes or whatever we have left.
Holy moly.
Or 22, I don't know. Numbers, math aren't my strong suit, even though I like data.
Mm.
Have a great night, everyone. Take care.
Oh yeah.
See ya.
See you.